That's not how the Force works.
I don't care.
Yeah, I think I remember seeing the movie. There's one scene that sticks out, and it probably sticks out for everybody, which is that, have you heard the tragedy of Darth Plagueis the Wise?
What are you talking about?
G'day guys and welcome back to Casual Rage. Prepare to start the show, R2. This is where the fun begins. Yo, buddy! G'day, guys. Welcome to Casual Rage. Casual Rage 250. 250 shows where we casually rage out about the topics of the week. And of course, this week, well, we've got the quartering to talk about. And I've only been really paying attention in recent times to the quartering. I never watched the quartering. Every time I did see any videos, the only things that I really ever saw was his shorts. But his shorts is literally just him saying, check this out. And then it's the video for the person. But yes, I've got this. There's fucking works going on. And it's kind of in the distance. And I can hear the heavy machinery, the hydraulics and everything. And it's fucking annoying. Because this humming. And I thought it was in my ear to begin with. But we've got some Star Wars stuff to talk about. We're going to talk about Maul Shadow Lord. That's interesting. That nobody actually really cares about. It's interesting to see how, even my thoughts on Star Wars right now. Dude, I fell asleep halfway through episode 4. And they're only half an hour long episodes. Now, mind you, it was the night after Flashcast, so I was a little hungover that day, and I did start watching the 2 episodes at 10 p.m. So I was pretty exhausted, so I'll grant them that, but I still fucking fell asleep. It still couldn't keep me awake for literally an hour over the 2 episodes. Because that's when I actually got around to watching them. I don't even know when they're actually releasing. I don't even care when the release night or day is for Maul. And it's interesting to see what they're saying about the predicted box office earnings for Mandalorian and Grogu. I can't remember whether or not we actually talked about it last week, but well, and we will get into it, but it's just interesting to me to think that, okay, if they think that this thing is going to be so bad that the box office is going to be so low, I don't know whether or not that, first of all, put that out there. I don't know who puts these predictions out there, but I do have a point to make, and I will get to it. It's like I want to get straight into it, but there's a couple of other things. We might check out and see what Star Wars Theory has to say about it, because again, like I look at the Star Wars landscape and the fans and everything that's sort of going on in the Star Wars landscape right now, and I just don't understand. I don't understand. I don't understand where this massive love for Maul has all of a sudden come from, sort of thing. I also don't understand how anybody thinks that, okay, does this happening and them showing us this happening 2 years after Revenge of the Sith do anything for where we end up in the future, the sequels and everything? Anyway, and obviously we've got, like I said, a lot to talk about with the quartering stuff. I wanted to go over that because, I don't know, something to fucking talk about, I guess, other than fucking Star Wars. Because what's out there right now that, like, I still haven't seen Project Hail Mary. And I don't know whether or not I'm actually going to get the opportunity to go and see it in the theaters. Because I don't know when it's actually coming out of theaters. But, yeah. I just don't know whether or not I'm actually going to get an opportunity to. What is it? 2.5 hours? And what, like $50 these days? I haven't been to the movies in so long. I wouldn't even know how much tickets are now. Look at that the fucking cat hair. Can you see that? Oh, fuck, I made it worse. Oh, well. Anyway, let's quickly say hello and see who we've got in the chat. Because there was a super chat from Mad Dog, and I got to answer his question. Tillium, how you doing? Hamley Van Skyver is no different than Theory. Wow, what a sentence that is. I don't know. Like, what Jeremy's done with this, with the nuking of channels and getting like people, it's weird though how it's happening. He can't be the one like completely pulling all of these strings, but it seems that he's put the feelers out there to get a lot of this shut down. And I don't know how somebody like him has that much power over what YouTube, like I don't know. But also too, Mad Dog comes in with $2 and says, question in chat below. And then asks, so is there a part 1 and a part 2? Wow. All right. So the first part was, what's up? Just started following you after your Flashcast episode, like the stuff. Nice. Thank you. Thank you for this sub. Thanks for coming over. I hope you enjoy some of my videos. I don't obviously put out a lot of videos in recent times. I haven't really been doing anything, just the streams. But, you know, I think there's some okay videos that I've done back there somewhere. What have you thought of season 4 of Invincible? For me, it's up and down. I love episode 2 and 5, but did not like episode 4 at all. And episode 6 was the first time the animation has pissed me off. I haven't seen anything really in the animation to piss me off. I got to be fair on that. I know the next 2 will be good, but it feels like they just phoned it in for a few episodes per season. It's still good though. Okay, so that's the first part. So in regards to answering that, I have been sort of talking about Invincible the last couple of streams, but they've made so many mistakes with this Invincible series, I've got to say, that like really aren't necessary. Like the tech jacket gender swap, that's a mistake in this season. The mistake for season 2 was that they basically split the season in half and like put you on like a 6-month or something hiatus or a 12-month hiatus before you get the second half. And a lot of people fell off because that first half of the season was actually kind of average. Second half of the season picks up, but you get it like a year apart or something like that. In regards to this season, I've been pretty much the same. It's up and down. I'm still enjoying it, but I can see why people have problems with it, especially the fans out there when they are doing gender or race swaps or whatever. Especially when it's not necessary. It's kind of the same as the Snape stuff, right? And well, pretty much nearly any race or gender swap thing that they do. And it's more like it's obvious, it's more obvious now. And it seems that they do it for even less reasons. Like, you know, there's no reason to do it. It seems like there's less of a reason to do this. And actually almost retroactively destroys, well, in Snape's case, especially. But yes, this season has been fine. I have still been enjoying certain elements of it. Mark's recovery and Oliver and Nolan building a relationship. The thing that I do like about the Invincible show is there are so many parts, and there's at least usually one of these per episode where for like 15, 20 minutes, there's no dialogue whatsoever. It's just maybe a music background and a bit of a montage giving you a bit of story. And I kind of like that. I really do. It's a good way of actually, well, it's actually kind of the best way to show don't tell because there's no dialogue. It's literally showing you. And you're sitting there and you go, oh, wow. And then there's some where there's shocking moments in it and you're like, oh, shit. Like, and it's literally just showing you. So there's really good stuff about Invincible that I like. I don't know how it ends in the comic books, but I have heard that it's not great. And there are people out there that are hoping that they change it in this. But yeah, I don't really have Invincible on the list to talk about today because there's like, you know, it's ramping up to Star Wars. And obviously they've got Maul out right now. And, you know, they're ramping up to Mandalorian and Grogu, which we are going to talk about. But thank you for the questions. Oh, well, thank you for that question. I'll be back to your other one in a second. We got Caleb Levi's in the chat. We've also got Soul Assassin, the mod. How you doing? Mike Hill. I'm so far behind in the chat. Well, not really, because there's not heaps of fucking... The chat's not going a million miles a second, is it? Watch out, there's a hacker. Dude, I saw that, and believe it or not... I actually got a message on Twitter. I actually deleted it. I should have kept it and actually screenshotted it. But I got asked to vote on something. And I was like, I hate clicking links like this. And I checked out the person's account. Let me see. Hang on. Oh, yeah. Nothing. Oh, that's interesting. Oh, no, because I'm searching it in the wrong spot. This is the thing. The account has an Australian flag, follows me. The account was set up in 2017. I don't really want to give the person's name away, but I get a DM from them. And if you're in the chat, like, because I deleted it, it's not there anymore. But yeah, sends me a link, asks me to vote. Get another message this morning saying, oh, I saw that you didn't vote. It's like, what? So yeah, be careful out there, guys. Don't just be hitting random links from random people. Don't just be hitting random links from random people. Smash the like button if you haven't. Subscribe if you're new here, please. Let's see what Mad Dog also has to say. Also, I don't know if you're an Avatar, The Last Airbender fan, but I grew up watching it, love it, and the whole new movie got leaked. I've watched 20 minutes of it. Don't like the new voice actors. I'm not an Avatar, a Last Airbender fan, I would say. I've watched some of the animation, some of the anime, I guess. I think I watched like first season or two. And I watched the live action movie, the one that everybody hates. I don't know. There are some things like that hook me and I have to like deep dive into it. And there's some things that I just enjoy watching. Like I enjoyed watching the anime of The Last Airbender. But yeah. Thank you for the questions. Thank you for the super chat. Who else we got? We got Mr. Bantham's in the chat. How you doing? Is this the new day and time? Now, let me actually get this out now that we've got a good amount of people here that probably usually hear more often than not. I have already planted the seed in regards to changing my day from tomorrow to today. Now, this was only going to be temporary. It was only supposed to be last week and this week in regards to doing the stream now. I'm not giving specifics because so many people in different places around the world. But I've already planted the seed in regards to wanting to change my day off with the guy that I need to. He's on leave right now and he comes back on Monday and we're going to talk about it. He said he thinks that it should be okay. And I hope that it is. I don't really mind. It's just the fact that the only reason why I'm doing this and the only reason why I'm asking him this is because of the stream. Because I feel like right now, the reason why I pushed the stream back today was because I didn't want to stream so much over Melbourne. So I kind of pushed it back and like maybe we start around like this time, like around right now, 1 p.m., which it is now for me. And how would this be if it was today at this time for everybody? I'm just curious. Let me know in the chat. I'll see Mortal Kombat 2 in theaters. I will see Mortal Kombat 2 in theaters too, I think. I think it will as well. MK2, thank you for 19 months, dude. Remember when Maul was once cool? Good times. I was thinking that too. You know, he went out a badass. He took out a Jedi Master and probably one of the most Jedi of Jedi Masters there are. He takes out. His apprentice, loses control. But then I would almost say gets lucky. And it's only because of Maul's arrogance that Obi-Wan gets lucky. And that's the end of Maul. Unfortunate being such a cool character. But his story wasn't just fucking Phantom Menace. And that's where like, okay, you want to tell some cool Maul stories? Go back in time and tell the cool Maul stories. Feed it into how it crosses over with the Phantom Menace, I guess. Well, the moments I think in Plagueis, the crossover with the Maul books, I don't think we're quite at the crossover point of when it actually starts crossing over with Phantom Menace. But even still, they got to move forward with it. There's so much that I have to say about that. I got to say that, like, we will get to it. Who else have we got here? We got Gabriel Knight. We got Jordan in the chat. Jordan, the EU purist. We got Sula Felix is here. Do you have RDOs on Wednesday instead of Thursdays now? I don't know if you were here. I sort of just explained, and I see you, John Platt. I'm trying to change it to Wednesdays. Just because Thursday, man, when I stream, when I was doing it, there's fucking 15 other people streaming. And it's not to say that I'm going to have like all the audiences from all of these streams, but I have no doubt that there's crossover there because of the little corner of the internet that that I see people in. There is crossover amongst the audience. And again, my audience isn't massive. I appreciate you all being here, and I really thank you, and I appreciate the support. But you know, I'm thinking of moving to Wednesday. I've spoken to the guy that normally gets Wednesdays off, and I'm hoping that we can work it out. Let's see. Saltysaurus Rex for $2 says, "R.I.P. Rhino. I hope you don't get flagged by the quartering." Yeah. Well, we're going to talk about it. So flag away. And we also had John Platt for 2 said, "I hear that the trailer for Mandalorian and Grogu wasn't great." We can check out the ratio. I'm surprised that we haven't had some more stuff, to be honest with you. And it's probably because we've had the Maul show. Like out, so they don't really want to take. It's silly though. They should be using any hype that they can get from the Maul show because the SEALs are out there and they're doing their thing. Doing their thing. Geordie, I see you. Northern Ireland. I made it all the way out to Northern Ireland. Disney Star Wars sucks under Filoni. It sucked under Disney, man. It sucks under Disney. You're not wrong. It does suck under Filoni, and it's going to suck even more now that Filoni is like Lord and Commander. So yeah. Let's see. You say Wednesday, fuck me up. That's so funny. It's 8 p.m. on Tuesday for me. Yeah, no doubt. California, yeah. Yeah, so right now it's 8 p.m. for you. It's 10 p.m. Central Time. So if I was to start right now, what is it, an hour from Central to Eastern Time? Is it an hour? So I'd be starting at 11 p.m. Eastern. Perhaps. Anyway, I'll work out the timing once I'm actually able to confirm that the day is actually changing. Because I'm hating the Thursdays, man. I really am. I gotta say, I'm hating the Thursdays. Let's see. Yes, Maul Shadow Lord is fire. It really is. You want good Maul? You want good Maul? Shadow Lord? Oh, man, what do you... Who here has read Shadow Lord and who here has also read Lockdown? It's hard to say which one's better. It really is. Like, Lockdown is so good. Just Maul in that and not being able to use the Force too makes him even, like, I don't know, more menacing, I guess. But Shadowhunter is... nah, I'd probably give the edge to Shadowhunter, to be honest with you. I got to give the edge to Shadowhunter. That twist at the end of Shadowhunter, like, I was honestly like, no fucking way. No way. I don't want to give it away because there's people out there that probably haven't read it, and you may not ever read it, but if you do end up reading it and I've happened to spoil it for you, I would hate that because it shocked the shit out of me. It really did. I'd never thought that it could do that. Like, in a book, I think it's the only time a book has ever fully, like... And that might be because in every other book that I've read that has shocking moments in it, I've known that the shocking moments are coming. That's why Disney decided to decanonize the expanded universe, because everybody would know what's coming. If you're a Maul fan, read it. Yes. If you are a Maul fan, read it. They're both fire. Yes. They are. But again, I give the edge to Shadow Lord. A Shadow Lord. Oh my God. Shadow fucking Lord. Shadow Hunter. I give the edge to Shadow Lord. Fuck. Fuck, motherfucker. All right, let's talk a little bit about The Mandalorian just really quickly, because I just want to get this over and done with. Here we go. I don't even know if I actually need audio. This was just put out, and it was just like a headline kind of thing from world-class bullshitters, Jeff over there. Good people, good dude. Basically, just The Mandalorian and Grogu is tracking to debut worse than The Rise of Skywalker. I think it's also tracking to do worse than Solo, a Star Wars story. So The Mandalorian and Grogu is early tracking to earn 70 to 85 million in its. Now that's domestic box office. So worldwide, you'd be expecting what, 100 million, 120 million, something like that. Becoming the lowest opening of any Disney Star Wars film ever. Okay, there's a couple of things with this that the first thing that I'll say, I'm putting my conspiracy hat on here. What if they intentionally put a low figure out? Intentionally put a low figure out. Now think about it. Star Wars has been essentially out of the theaters 7 years. It's been on a hiatus, you could say, from the theaters. Now, yes, you're going to have all of the people that are praising, seal clapping Disney Star Wars, saying we're back, baby, this is peak, all of the fucking buzzwords throughout all the Disney Plus shows that have been coming out. They're going to go and see it. Probably multiple times too, right? Now, I don't think that I actually think that that's smaller than what some other people out there think that it is. I don't think it's necessarily as big, but it's now really going to come down to the normies. I honestly have a feeling that the normies are going to want to see Mortal Kombat more than they're going to want to go and see The Mandalorian and Grogu. How much of the Disney Plus show have the normies watched of The Mandalorian? Season 1, 2, and 3. Even if they watched maybe a bit of season 1, they may have fallen off. The normies don't necessarily hang around unless they're captured by something. Now, yes, maybe early days they were captured by Grogu. And if anything, that's the women out there. How many normie women do you think are out there when it comes to Star Wars? So I'm starting to think, what if they intentionally put a low figure out there? So when it does hit $100 million, which is still fucking low, they can say, oh, look, it's performing better than even we thought it was going to. Speed Force, I see you all coming in, Jules. I see you guys. Solo did lose money, Sula Felix. Turning Luke into grumpy old man hurt the brand. Dude, that and the rest, that and everything else that they've done. And now it literally is just the seal clapping, like, you know, what were people's reactions when they saw the holocrons mysteriously in the background of Andor in the store? What were they all talking about? They weren't talking about, like, this is the Disney shill side of things. I know that there's people out there that were paying attention to the dialogue and actually liked the characters and stuff like that. I think that there's so many flaws in it, it's ridiculous. But the ones that are actually like the Disney seals out there that are going to go and see this stupid movie 3 times are the ones that were literally sitting there seal clapping the fact that there were holocrons sitting in the background and fucking basically all the Force sensitive materials and everything that's fucking in Luthen saw that entire time. They were talking about that stuff. Look at Starkiller's armor in the background. You remember what the talking topics were? Nobody, none of the normies out there give a fuck about the Mandalorian, would not give two shits about Grogu. And when they go into this movie and Kathleen Kennedy came out and said, oh, well, he's still not going to be talking in this, or whatever she actually said, I'm paraphrasing, obviously. Like, what do you honestly think that this is going to do? Do you to the people out there that are still clapping this shit, right? Still clapping fucking Maul. Oh, but he's kind of telling fucking the story that George wanted to tell. It's the most George Lucas. Dude, we need to stop with the continue pushing forward with Star Wars the way that it is. You don't understand. If you're sitting here praising fucking Maul Shadow Lord, and yes, oh, we're back. Dave Filoni's in the driver's seat. We're going to get some of the best Star Wars we've ever had. Mandalorian and Grogu might, but we'll pick it back up again because Dave Filoni is fully back in charge, and no longer do we have the threat of the Civil War hanging over us where Kathleen Kennedy came in and she was the one that fucked up this movie. I don't even know if those are the narratives out there, but it seems to be that that's where the justifications come from. And then all they want to do is continue pushing forward with Star Wars in the current state that it's in. No, Star Wars is dead. Disney Star Wars is well and truly dead. And the bad thing about this is that for the expanded universe and for what Star Wars really is, the people that loved it have read it all, or they've done it all, or they don't really even care anymore because there's nothing, they can't see a future in this franchise. And you want to come out and say that 70 to 85 million. Everybody's talking about how big of a flop that's going to be, how bad that actually is for Star Wars. And yes, it's fucking atrocious. But I can't help but put my conspiracy theory hat on and fucking sit here and go, maybe they've done it intentionally so that it gives fucking like all the SEALs out there the ammunition once it hits 100 million domestically to say, see, it's not fucking dead. It's fucking going. We're going. Yeah, it's back, baby. Maul Shadow Lord is touching on elements that are okay in there. I'm not going to deny that. But like so many parts of it where I'm like, I don't know. I don't really understand. The whole tea thing, the whole tea scene that they had. I'm going off into Maul now. We got to get there. I'm sorry. You done ranting like a fucking woman, mate? No. See the title? See the name? Raging Rhino. And this could have been a nominee for Seal of the Week, but I don't have any other Seals of the Week, unfortunately. So I don't really have. This person can just win it, I guess. We'll give it to them at the end of the show. Just hand it to them. The Resistance broadcast. Jon Favreau launched the MCU. Did he? Was he? I know that he did Iron Man, like the first Iron Man movie, but he didn't. He had nothing to do with Hulk, did he? Anyway, he launched the MCU. Jon Favreau made the best Christmas movie of the century. Which was what movie? The best Christmas movie. Jon Favreau made the first live-action Star Wars TV series, and it was a massive success. I think you'll find that you'll see that massive success come out in in the result of the Mandalorian and Grogu box office, Jon Favreau made a Star Wars movie and it comes out in 6 weeks. Yeah. And it's going to be nightmare. It's going to be shit because he's also under the thumb of fucking Dave Filoni and he gets all his fucking knowledge and all his fucking, yeah, we can do that. Like all of that shit comes from fucking Dave. You're joking if you think that this is fucking going to go down. Well. Now, again, I could be wrong because I was just saying, like, maybe they put the low figure out there so that, you know, it is going to be higher. I mean, it's a massively low figure for a Star Wars project, for a Star Wars movie, where Star Wars has been on a hiatus from the theaters for 7 years. You've had multiple TV shows come out on Disney Plus. And this is your prediction? I don't know how you can actually predict that that's going to be the case. And if that happens, anyone thinks that Kathleen Kennedy did a good job, that anybody thinks that Dave Filoni's done a good job. Dude, don't just think that he got this promotion to be president of Lucasfilm or co-president of Lucasfilm. And that's when, you know, Dave Filoni reign over all of this stuff started. And it wasn't even like a year or two ago when they fucking only changed the title in the and everybody started saying it's a promotion when it was like he actually was doing that like 2 years prior to that. Dave Filoni has arguably been one of the most destructive people to Star Wars. People want to throw a lot of blame on Kathleen Kennedy, and she has a lot of blame to cop. Definitely. Definitely. But Dave Filoni, I think he's arguably worse than Kathleen Kennedy. Arguably worse than Kathleen Kennedy. And this is where my question comes in the title of the fucking stream. Can Mortal Kombat 2 beat The Mandalorian? Now, obviously, you know, can it? Yes, of course it can. Will it? Nah, maybe, maybe not. But dude, even the fact that that's even a possibility, a conversation starter, whatever you want to say, the fact that that could even be a thing is an indictment on Star Wars. Did you see the popcorn bucket? I only just saw it before I started. Check this out. How cool is that? I got to see how it sort of works. Like, does this the lid of the helmet sort of pop back? Or do you actually have to take, like, is that a mask that you can fucking wear and you just take that off and then the bucket's underneath? I don't care. It looks fucking awesome. But, you know, Mortal Kombat, this second movie, sort of popped out of nowhere. Now, it's basically Mortal Kombat's at the beginning of the month and Mandalorian and Grogu's at the end of the month. So, you know, Mortal Kombat will be dying off by the time fucking Mandalorian and Grogu sort of starts up. So there's not going to be a massive crossover, but I'm just talking like total at the... There's still going to be people, I reckon, that go and like, you know, I hope that Mortal Kombat sort of stays in theaters for at least a little bit of crossover. Because I still think that there'd be people out there that would probably rather go and see Mortal Kombat 2 than a Star Wars movie right now. But yeah, I looked at that. Fucking awesome. Anybody here in Australia in the chat, do you know if like there's any theaters out there that do popcorn buckets like this here in Australia? Because I know there's a massive limited amount of theaters that do it in America, but I've never seen us do anything like that here in Australia. Oh, and the last thing that I will just bring up, again, something that just sort of crossed my timeline. Try Village. I'm not in Australia. Laughing Man. Why? Dude. Is that you? But then I have to ask, where is it? Is that you? Are you the same person? Because how did the name change? My head's spinning. Where's the other one gone? The other chat gone? Did you delete it? No, there it is. J Laughing Man. At J Laughing Man. Subject. Is there a reason I'm not a mod? Well, dude. The only reason would be that I am retarded. There you go, good sir. Wrench away. Repair the chat. All right, let me bring this up. Stop being a fucking idiot. I just found this funny. Because once again, take a shot. No. I really don't want to drink. I'll do one shot if somebody sends a $50 super chat, but I'm not doing it for any other reason. Arctic Warrior, I see you. How you doing? So I just saw this and I thought it was fucking hilarious. I honestly thought it was hilarious. The new Jedi Order movie starring Daisy Ridley as Rey was announced on this day 3 years ago. Three years ago at Star Wars Celebration. Think about that for a second. They announced this movie 3 years ago, Star Wars Celebration. The only things that they announced was this movie, the Dave Filoni Mandoverse movie, which isn't the Mandalorian and Grogu, mind you. And who was it? Oh, what's the director's name? Why am I thinking John Gold something or something like that? There's gold in the name. Anyway, there was another film that they fucking announced. None of those projects, none, have fucking, was it Mangold? Well, whoever it was, it's still going. You notice it's still ticking through my head. It's pissing me off. I can't think of his name. They announced all three of those. Not one has, I think, a script. Not even the Dave Filoni Mandoverse movie, right? We've had no sort of update or anything in regards to that. That's just that it's still happening. Same thing with this one and same thing with the other one. They're all still happening. Every time we get an update from fucking Daisy Ridley, it seems to be, yeah, I'm getting a script. It's going to be awesome. The wait's going to be worth it. That's the three talking points. Yep, we're waiting on a script. I've seen a couple of a couple of edits of it or whatever. It's going to be great, and the wait's going to be worth it. But do you remember how we even got the Mandalorian and Grogu announced? How it even ended up getting made? I swear this wasn't something that they were going to announce when they announced it. Because if they were going to announce, if they were intended to announce it when they announced it, then it was ridiculous that they didn't actually announce it at Star Wars Celebration. But we had Charmin Obaid-Chinoy come out and start running her mouth about how it's about time a woman fucking hits the driver's seat of a Star Wars project and blah, 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 blah. And it blew the fuck up. And the crazy thing is that it wasn't settling down because she kept opening her mouth and she kept doubling it down. And then people started finding things from the past and they reacted. They reacted and announced the Mandalorian and Grogu movie. It did. It drew all the attention away from Charmin Obaid-Chinoy and put it on her. And I said it at the time that they were fucking doing that. And that's exactly what they did. But it's crazy to me that they announced that as damage control or trying to hide, the drama going on with the announcement of the Rey movie. And then obviously they've got this fucking drama attached to that already. We haven't even fucking made a script and it's already blowing up in our face because we created the blow up. They announced Mandalorian and Grogu. They make that fucking movie and it's out within 3 years of essentially them announcing it. But the 3 movies that they announced at Star Wars Celebration, 3 months prior, 2 months prior to fucking the announcement of the Mandalorian and Grogu movie, playing cover fire for Charmin Obaid-Chinoy and Disney's fuck-ups, and they make that movie. That was the series of events. And yet we're 3 years into this fucking thing, and there's not even a squeak of a fucking script being complete. What did they make Mando for? Why did they make Mando for? Because Jon Favreau went to Kathleen Kennedy with an idea of this underworld fucking bounty hunters. That's pretty much it. No force users, blah, blah, blah. Because that's how it was pitched. That's how he pitched it. That's how it was announced to us of what it was going to be. But by the end of the first episode, we had a 50-year-old force being that couldn't fucking speak and acts like an absolute child. They fucked it up from the opening scene. And I've said it before, and I will continue to say it forever and ever and ever. It was a little bit of a cash grab, that too, yes. They were trying to obviously repair the damage. If you remember, there was a crossover with Mandalorian Season 1 and The Rise of Skywalker. Why do you think that was important? I've mentioned it. If you've been here a long time, I'm hoping that maybe one of you have heard my thoughts on that. I don't know if anybody's actually going to get it. It might take too long anyway. I'm just going to say it. They fucking did that so that everybody was going to give fucking Daisy Ridley and Rey, the character of Rey, shit. Look at how they ended it. She ends up with fucking Han's ship. She ends up with Poe's droid. She ends up with fucking Luke's name. She ends up with Luke, all the lightsabers. She gets everything. Everyone was going to hate it, right? Everyone was going to hate it. Rey is a thief. Yes. They brought out Mandalorian Season 1 and crossed it over so that everybody saw Grogu do the Force heal before Rey did the Force heal. So that if people were okay with the Mandalorian and the way that they depicted that, and then they weren't okay with Rey doing the Force heal, they've got something to blame it on. They've got someone to blame it on. The racists, no, maybe not. They call them more sexist. You're okay with a male Baby Yoda thing doing the Force heal, but you're not okay with Rey the woman doing the Force heal or something like that. It has all been strategic. And the crazy thing is if all they had was a good story and they were just telling the story right and there was good lore and good canon and good continuity amongst all stories and all of this kind of thing, they wouldn't have to do shit like that. They wouldn't have to play games like that. Why do you think they get out in front of these things? You know, why do you think Papa Aceto has already told everybody how many death threats he's getting from racist fans out there of the Harry Potter series? Why? Yeah, Jesus. How you doing? So the fact that this is even a fucking like newsworthy fucking report, it just goes to show once again how fucking dead Star Wars is as a brand right now. And I say right now, just straight off my head, I'm thinking right now, like, man, now and forever. Put a chick in it, make it lame and gay.
Put a chick in it and make it lame and gay.
It's just so I'm so disappointed. I'm just so disappointed. Like I don't really care anymore. I sit there, I sit there and watch the Maul show, and I'm like, yep, yeah, okay, all right, yeah, that was okay. That was shit. That was okay. That was shit. That's where my fandom is at right now. And everybody fucking let me bring it up actually. Let me bring this fucking crap up. I haven't listened to this actually yet. Pause. Refresh, you fuck. What the fuck? Thank you. You know what? Give me a second, guys. I'm just going to grab a drink. Let me give you the Ahsoka one.
You'd better put a chick in it. And make it fucking gay as fuck.
Going somewhere?
Put her on a path of her own choosing, so that no matter which direction she takes, we'll always be one step ahead of her.
What?
That is so lame.
It is lame. So very fucking lame. Very fucking lame. We might play the Acolyte one a bit later as well. How about that? South Park used to be funny. They've lost a bit of their spark, haven't they? No, it's not a Foster's. I'm actually out of Foster's, to be honest. And Laughing Man, I really don't want more. I really don't want more. Kind of feel like I owe you some because of the $500 that you sent me when I hosted Flashcast. But I don't want to get any. I haven't even gotten that payment yet. That's going to come through hopefully at the end of this month. The fucked up Grand Admiral Thrawn as well. Well, I put a lot of that. That's more fucking Filoni than Kathleen Kennedy. Kathleen Kennedy in this instance with the Ahsoka show is just a yes person. She just greenlit it and got him the money. Dave Filoni is already on board with the Force is female. Kathleen Kennedy doesn't need to interfere. Kathleen Kennedy doesn't need to interrupt. That's evident based on fucking show of Ahsoka. Fucking, I don't know how people can watch the Maul show, go, oh, the guy that created this was the guy that made Sabine fucking get the Force like that and fucking Force push fucking Ezra. Like, I don't know. Which beer is the best over here? I'm not a massive beer drinker, to be honest. So I like Carlton Draft just as like when it's like really cold beer on a really hot day. I love a nice ice cold Carlton Draft. But like, I don't know, if I was going for a beer, I just get like a Corona or something. And I don't really care if it's got lime or lemon in it. It's got to have one or the other. I care that it's got it in it, but I don't care which one that it is. I don't think drafts like VB at all. VB's horrible. I would say that VB and Foster's are the two worst beers here in Australia. I don't know which one's worse. I'd almost have to get one of each and try them at the same time. Maybe we can do that. Maybe I'll do that on Flashcast. Maybe I'll go get a can of fucking VB and a can of Foster's. Oh my God, just the thought of that is making my stomach hurt. And I'm oh my God. All right, let's see what Dave Filoni has to say. And then I also want to just show you how pathetic Star Wars has become, where they have to do something so stupid, so pathetic, that makes everybody go, oh, that's cool. Like, I'm sure there's some of you out there that have been paying attention that know what I'm talking about. But we'll get to it. We will get to it. Let's see what Dave Filoni has to say. Like I said, I just saw Dave Filoni, and it's like obviously Maul. Dave Filoni shares why Sam Witwer was the perfect choice to voice Maul. Dude, why he was the perfect choice. He's voiced Maul the whole time. He's been fucking Maul in animation. He's been fucking, what's his name, from the video game. Like, okay. Are we restarting? Like, this is what it feels like. It really does. The old fans are now definitely gone. They're all out. They're gone. They're now starting fresh with the new fans that know nothing and clearly know nothing and don't even think it's almost like they think that Star Wars started fucking 10 years ago. And now they need these explanations of why Sam Witwer was the perfect choice.
I knew when we were going to do Maul that I wanted somebody that would kind of understand the gravity of that, what that meant to bring this character back. There are certain times when I'm casting, we're like, well, we have to have somebody that's really in the weeds on this and really gets it. This isn't just another thing they're doing. This is a very big deal and would understand it on a deeper level. And so I thought of Sam and what he could bring as far as being.
Did you think of anyone else in the process of you thinking of casting and all of that kind of thing? Did you actually think of anyone else? Did you possibly think that if you asked Sam Witwer if he would do it and if he would say no, then who would be your second pick? Like, he was clearly the perfect. It's such a stupid, again, to me, this is like old news, like being made to be important.
Being a villain to that character, and how, because there were so few lines of Phantom Menace, we had some flexibility as to the personality. I wanted a more crazed insanity going on and off the deep end a bit. He's paranoid. He's hungry for power and will do anything to get it. But he's also worried and in fear, because usually the great villains are also the people that are most afraid. They're constantly in fear of being betrayed, backstabbed. Uneasy is the head that wears the crown, right? Sam was the perfect person to kind of, work with on that character, especially bringing them back to life and go through these different stages of evolution. And our feeling was always that The apprentice of a Jedi trained, a martial artist trained, a Sith trained is somebody that would be very well educated, well read, understand the galaxy, understand how it works, not just somebody.
That's not necessarily always the case, but especially a Sith, like they work on emotions more than like education. Obviously, there are some out there that want as much knowledge as possible. Knowledge is power, and a lot of them understand that.
That fights. Palpatine deceives everyone, the Jedi included. And it takes somebody of intelligence to make all those relationships and work it.
Yes, Palpatine was incredibly fucking like... I wouldn't necessarily go putting Maul on the same sort of level as Palpatine.
In a way to his benefit. And so we wanted Maul to feel like a branch of that tree, that he is a link to the lineage of Palpatine, to the great Sith Lords that came before him.
Thank you, Rotten Tomatoes, for that. But this is what I was actually talking about. So, see, look at what
you actually hear.
I'm fucking ready to fucking just set this up. Now it pauses. So this is designed to. This is what Star Wars is now. It's putting like basically stupid little things in. Now this is the other crazy thing too, right? They put these little stupid things in. Let me play it first. I know I'm a little all over the place here. Let me just play this. It's 11 seconds, so.
Even the way it sounds is more extreme. You actually hear the sound of Sam screaming built into the saber.
Woo-hoo-hoo! How'd the SEALs react when they heard that? I'm curious. I really am curious. You know the crazy thing about it, and what I was about to say just before I played it? The crazy thing about this is, okay, you put Maul's scream sound effect into his lightsaber swing. Now, it's one thing that if he's doing a swing, the character's actually screaming in that moment. Different story altogether. Excuse me. But to build the scream into the lightsaber swing, but then to not even allow it to get put out there and allow people to maybe hear it and start asking questions. Allow the fan base to find it as like an Easter egg or something. No, we're going to do it. And guess what? We're going to tell you all about it. So now, after watching that and then watching the episode, it actually stands out and it's really bad. You know why it's really bad? Because it only comes out in some moments of the fight. So in some moments of the fight, his lightsaber sounds normal in its normal swing with a normal lightsaber buzzing, humming, swiping, swinging, clashing sound. But then you bring in some moments where it's got this rah, rah, rah to it. So you did it. You told everybody about it. You didn't allow them to think, oh, what's going on there? And then start asking questions. And then maybe you tell everybody. Like, it's purely bait. It is bait for no reason at all. What is the purpose of oh, that's so cool. We put more sound effects. It's like the fucking theory sabers that you can buy. You can customize the sounds and shit. Like, what the fuck are we doing? What is this? That ain't Star Wars. That's Disney, like, ugh. The fuck, man? Fear of FEMA for $5 says Filoni looks like a member of the modern audience. He does. Thank you, Fear of FEMA, for the $5. To me, this is just stupid. And it's all designed for, like, oh, Star Wars is so back. It's so back. We are back. It's peak. This is peak Star Wars. Fuck off. Imagine, you know, if George Lucas put Darth Vader's breathing sound into his lightsaber swing. Cool. Oh man, that's so fucking wicked. That's so wicked, Addy. I can't believe it. It's fucking retarded. And that's where Disney Star Wars is at right now. That's how Disney builds hype in their fucking shows. Pathetic. Honestly, pathetic. Pathetic. And I know that the chat's been going up and down. I don't know if there are people that are coming in and out because they want to hear what I have to say about Jeremy and the quartering. Jeremy and the quartering. Jeremy is the quartering. And I will get to it. I just got to get through the Maul stuff because it's the only way that I'm reviewing it right now. And my channel is a bit more of a Star Wars channel, but I will get to it. I promise. I promise. And we're nearly there anyway. So these two episodes, like I said, the way that they do Maul trying to manipulate Devon, I thought was okay. You know, get her to feed off her anger and then let her go, and then she comes back, and then another fight ensues, and you know, we're obviously going to have the Inquisitors. We've seen them in the trailer. And I have no doubt that Vader's coming. And it's just going to be peak, and it's going to be awesome, and it's going to be wicked, and it's going to be so cool. And it's going to be ramping up to Mandalorian and Grogu and all this kind of stuff. And I just don't buy it. I just don't think that there's any hype there for it. Dude, if somebody like me who was, let's say, for want of a better way of saying it, holding out for Star Wars to correct course, right? Not that I ever really had that hope, but like, you know, I was still commentating on it, still in the pursuit of like still care, like really caring and stuff like that. Mate, if I've gotten to a point now where it's like, this is slop, this is garbage, this ain't Star Wars, this hasn't been Star Wars since the beginning, you know, and I'm sure there's some people that come to that point at different points of time, but I really do feel like the Acolyte did a massive amount of damage. Massive amount of damage. Huge. That hit the zeitgeist, the fucking pop culture zeitgeist like you would not fucking believe. You know, fucking Nerdrotic and fucking all these people out there that just really don't give a fuck about Star Wars anymore. Don't even really care to commentate on it. I'm sure they're going to fucking go and see Mandalorian and Grogu and do their commentary and, you know, talk about it as they should and how as important as all of that stuff is, how it's performing. But nobody gives a fuck anymore. Nobody cares anymore. And Kathleen Kennedy, that's your legacy. That was your tenure at fucking Lucasfilm. And Dave Filoni, you are liable in all of those things too. And now you get to take the reins and continue putting it into the ground. I'm done. I'm done. I will continue commentating on it. I will continue talking about it. I'll continue watching it and see how you continue to destroy my favorite franchise. You know, like I've said before, I'm more than willing to speak to like the like, not to change their minds, but just to give them my perspective on why I think Andor's shit, like the EFAP guys or anyone. I don't think Andor's, like, the characters and the storyline is, at least it's a story, and the characters at least are somewhat, you know, intriguing. Some of them. I say the lady with the teeth pisses me off the most. But it's not even about that. It's the world that we're in. It's the world that we're in. When you've got a prison making top secret fucking shit that you don't want leaked out. The one thing that you would do in this universe is just program droids. Just program droids. Fuck the fucking people. Put them in normal prisons and just keep them locked up if that's what you fucking got to do. use them as slave labor when you can just program droids to do your slave labor for you. And on a top secret thing that you don't want any information to get out about. So dumb. So dumb. But the prison escape scene was amazing. Yeah, it was so amazing that only 2 of them survived it. At least we only ever see 2 of them make it to the beach. Everybody else swam in a different direction or drowned. Like, it's just, I'm so over whether or not Star Wars is good or bad or what it's fucking shit. It's fucking shit. People have walked away and no longer has that cultural fucking phenomenon of being one of the biggest things out there. When something gets announced or a movie's coming out, just everybody's got to go and see it. It's lost it all. And Kathleen Kennedy, you've got to live the rest of your days knowing that you fucking destroyed something so beloved by so many people. And yeah, there are people out there that are going to suck your little fucking dick and say that you did an amazing job. But I think the evidence, if we just look at it based on numbers alone, is very fucking clear. I was just going to take a look at Theory's channel. He's the biggest Star Wars YouTuber out there. You know, he's now up to 3.29 million subscribers. Stop doing this. I'm actually curious to know what. Oh, he's talking about stabbing through with lightsabers. Let's see what. Actually, I'm curious. Maybe we'll watch that. Actually, see what he actually has to say. But like, I'm purely curious and just looking at sort of views for him, right? Let's go back and we'll start from Mandalorian Mando, episode 1 and 2. So 58,000 views. Then he does a breakdown and he gets 88,000 views. And then he does a Vader fights Maul. So like a prediction, a theory video gets 42,000 views. And then he does Maul lore. 3-hour compilation. Oh, it is 3. I'm so stupid. I wasn't even looking at it properly. So he does a 3-hour compilation. That gets 11,000 views. Then he gets horrifying childhood. So that depends on where you're getting your information from in regards to that one. I wonder if he brings in the Plagueis novel for that one. And then obviously you've got episodes 3 and 4, his reaction, 24,000 views. It's like people were just seeing, we'll see what happens. That's 8 days ago. That's a day ago. 58,000 views, 24,000 views. And then he does a breakdown. Holy shit. 65,000 views, 88,000 views. Over time, we'll see what happens. We might come back next week and just have a look. Right, but I gotta say, even those numbers for a Maul TV show to come out, I'm really curious on what this video. I didn't even know this was a thing. I didn't even know this was a thing. Are we seriously talking about this? World Between Worlds. Obi-Wan. In Obi-Wan Season 2, Obi-Wan needs to go to the World Between Worlds and stop himself from killing Maul because he needs Maul's help. No sound. Fuck. I'll show you where I got to.
Star Wars Maul Shadowlord director teases Maul's Rebels death might not be final.
There you go. That's where I got to. And then I said my spiel. Oh my God.
So right off the bat, this means, before even reading it, this means that Darth Maul may not actually be dead. Let's get into it. I'm going to tell you what I think about this. Shadow Lord digs deeper into Darth Maul's past. A new tease from the show's director has sparked fresh speculation that Maul's fate isn't as locked in as we once believed. Because why would it be? When you die, no one's ever really gone.
No one's ever really gone.
In Star Wars Rebels, Maul's story seems...
This is the thing. Like, he talks about Disney Star Wars like he fucking hates it. I'm sorry. I don't know. Like, I can sit there and I can watch this Maul show and go, hey, look, the way Maul is so overtly trying to manipulate Devon and the way he goes about it. I mean, to be honest with you, with how dark Maul is, I think he should be I don't know. He's trying to manipulate her. And obviously it's a good way of doing it. But does that make the show good? Maul shouldn't even exist. Maul shouldn't even exist. And I know that they'll make the argument, well, he came back when George was around. He came back. It's a mistake. George made a mistake too.
Seemingly reaches its end in a final duel with Obi-Wan Kenobi on Tatooine. It's a poetic full circle moment, especially considering Kenobi first struck him down back in Star Wars Episode 1, The Phantom Menace. That earlier death didn't stick, and now fans are wondering if history could repeat itself. Well,
so is it fans that are just theorizing that, like, they want Maul to still be alive? Star Wars is such a mess. No one fucking dies. Everyone's alive except for the ones that fucking matter, like Luke and only the ones that actually mean something, like really mean something, are the ones that permanently stay dead. Either that or they turn everybody into a fucking Force ghost, which is just, again, tell me that you don't understand Star Wars without telling me that you don't understand Star Wars. Fucking Luke becomes one with the Force. Leia becomes one with the Force. Fucking Ben becomes one with the Force. Everyone becomes one with the Force.
He didn't actually die. Phantom Menace, really. We want to be technical. But, when you stab...
That's the thing. You should be saying he actually should be dead, and they should have kept him dead, and he should have stayed dead. You've got your opinion, okay. You think it's okay for them to justify him staying alive because of his hate. And it's crazy to think that that hate manifests into him wanting revenge on Obi-Wan Kenobi. Then in this Maul series and in this timeline, he kind of forgets about the whole Obi-Wan Kenobi thing. He just wants revenge on the people that have now taken his power away from him since Order 66. His power over Mandalore, which he obviously still has. And then all of a sudden in Rebels, he goes back to just wanting his revenge on Obi-Wan and doesn't give a fuck about all of that other stuff. It's a mess.
Someone in the heart, or you stab them like vertically in half from the brain. It's a little bit different than cutting them, from the waist, even for Star Wars standards. Supervising director Brad Rao isn't exactly shutting down the idea. When asked about Maul's potential return, he kept things cryptic, saying, "You never know. We're just focusing on this one time period, right?"
And the funny thing is that they're going to use the fact that we never saw Maul get sliced down the middle. We saw him get sliced this way, and he fucking survived that when his legs separated from the rest of his body. But when he sliced down that way, we never saw it. Now, originally when that scene happened, people asked the question, like, he died, but it seemed like he had no wounds. And the basic justification was being a cartoon and being that it's more so for kids and stuff like that. They can't just have Maul separating like this, but technically that's what probably would have happened. There probably wouldn't have even been a conversation. There was something along those lines. Again, I'm paraphrasing sort of thing, but there was a justification that came out of why they didn't actually have any sort of wounds on Maul in that scene. And now they're going to use the fact that that didn't happen to bring him back, say, we never saw him split in half.
Right now, Even if audiences know where Maul eventually ends up, the journey there might still throw some curveballs. I will say, when we approach these kinds of stories where you know a certain character's end, it's not necessarily a straight line. So we wanted to make sure that we are making...
Well, see, that's the thing. Like, you know, even though we know where this character's fate sort of ends up, you know, the story to get us there might throw in a couple of curveballs. Well, fucking no better story than Maul Shadowhunter. No better story. There's a massive curveball at the end of that fucking book that, for those who hadn't read it, that in a show or in a movie would have been fan-fucking-tastic.
Surprising bobs and weaves in a storyline that the fans are not expecting. Ideally, that's what we're doing. Also, there's a lot of new characters you've never seen before, and you don't know their fates and their destiny, and that's a big part of the story as well. So what do I think about this? I would love for Darth Maul to not have died the way he did. I would love to have gotten the George Lucas original sequel trilogy that we were supposed to get, which was going to have Darth Maul come back and have that power vacuum in the galaxy, kind of like we see with Shadow Lord, but to a much larger degree. And Luke would be the antagonist. Darth Talon and Darth Maul would rise to power. They would cause a lot of mayhem and take a lot of control.
That's if George was going to go that way. Yes, there was a script out there that George had. Yes, it was an idea, but there was also George talking about when he was saying, oh, it's about the grandchildren and blah, 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 blah. So let's not just get carried away and say this is exactly what George would have done in the sequels. There's a 50-50, a 25% chance that, yes, this was what he was going to do with Maul. The thing is if George had have done the sequels, there's a good chance that it probably wasn't going to necessarily be perfect. And there were people out there that probably wouldn't have necessarily liked it. Bit like the prequels, maybe. The thing is at least it would have told a cohesive story, and at least it would have stuck to a lot of canon. At least it would have stuck to a lot of lore.
Troll. But now, of course, we don't get that. Now, his death in Rebels makes sense because of the timeline. You can't have Darth Maul around during the original trilogy. And if you do, then he has to be somewhere distant, in hiding, or locked away, or can't leave the unknown regions or wherever he might be. Because, obviously, you can't have Darth Maul around when Vader and Palpatine, Luke, and all that stuff is happening. So it would just be weird, right? But then again...
Except that's happening right now.
Whereas Ahsoka during that time. George Lucas, Star Wars, Lucasfilm under George Lucas, deaths really meant something. It wasn't like Dragon Ball where you could wish them back with the Dragon Balls, or, you know, how it is now, where a lightsaber stab, the same kind that Qui-Gon Jinn got, that killed him and effectively turned the galaxy into the Empire through the hands of Anakin Skywalker, not having the father figure that he needed, which was Qui-Gon Jinn, now has no fatality whatsoever. Case in point, Kylo Ren getting stabbed by Rey, Sabine getting stabbed by Shin Hati, Reva getting stabbed twice, once as a child by Anakin Skywalker during Order 66, and then once as an adult by Darth Vader. Alive both times. Totally fine.
It's not fair.
So the danger aspect of lightsabers in general has completely vanished. And that's simply because it seems like the characters today just keep coming back around. And I feel that they're doing this because they want to create some sort of a dramatic effect.
The crazy thing about you saying all of this right now, Star Wars Theory, is that in this Maul show, you can't deny the fact that they're going to lead up to a Vader fucking Maul fight. Who do you think is going to win that? Who do you think is going to win that? Some circumstances, some events are going to happen that's going to stop Vader from actually completing his mission of killing Maul. Maul's going to get away so that he can later be killed by Obi-Wan Kenobi. Go back on his revenge tangent. There's so much about this that just doesn't make sense when you think about the whole context of everything that you know about Maul's story, about the other shows that we've actually got.
To obviously be like oh my god, and then put the character in the hospital, or put the character into remission, or put him in some stagnant state where they can kind of prolong the episodes along, and then, you know, make the season sort of, then they come back and they're ready.
Or they'll do something like that where Vader will take Maul out but won't kill him, and then they lock him up, and then later on he finds a way to get out and fucking then just goes hunting for Obi-Wan again.
It totally makes the effect of fatality and the entire importance of not being stabbed by a lightsaber. It eliminates any sort of danger, really, because you can now get stabbed and you're fine. And it's like Qui-Gon would be looking at all of these characters that were stabbed and they're okay, who are not even a fraction of as powerful as he was, and he would be like, what? How are they okay and I was not? Now people could say, oh, vital organs. Okay, well, sure, but I mean, at the same time, what this is quite
Yeah, we all know how
it's plot
lightsabers
armor at the end of the day. But I think they have to keep it consistent because unless you were a Sith Lord, George did not have you survive.
But see, you don't understand theory. This is now the fan base. This is the only fan base that Disney Star Wars now has. It really is. It's the only fan base that Disney Star Wars now has, is the fan base that doesn't give a fuck whether or not they bring back a character or not. These are the fans that are advocating to bring back Ben Solo. Are the same people that don't give a fuck whether or not that death scene in the Rebels series where fucking Maul gets taken out by Obi-Wan actually has meaning or not. They don't give a fuck. Bring back Maul. We're getting a Maul series. That means we're going to bring back Maul. This is the fan base that they've culminated. This is the fan base that you're essentially talking to right now. The ones that are liking your fucking reactions to the Maul Shadow Lord show are the ones that want all of that stuff back. That can't wait for the Rey movie. That think that the sequel trilogy is the best Star Wars ever. That's them. That's the only people that are really paying attention anymore.
A lightsaber wound to the abdomen at all. Like you could get your hand or arm or whatever taken off a limb, but being impaled as a Jedi, as a light side user, and I say that because of 1 second, it's fatal.
Oh,
now, if you're a Sith, you survive it because your pain is your power. And it's like the cyclical effect.
No, I would disagree with that. If a Sith was to get ran through with a lightsaber, the same way, in fact, we've got evidence of it. If we go to the Knights of the Old Republic clip, in fact, fucking Sith and fucking Jedi, they, depending on whether or not it's a Sith or a Jedi that actually gets stabbed, will depend on whether or not they can actually survive it or not. Let me show you how fucking full of shit that actually is. One stab to the abdomen. One stab to the abdomen. Now, yes, arguably, it's not until we get to here. No, not here.
They've escaped, Master.
Here, that he actually dies, but he is fucked up. He is fucked up.
Failed. No.
Dude, fucking Darth Bane nearly gets taken out by a poison. He gets tricked. And he goes in for more doses because he thinks he's got power over the poison that he thinks that she's using, but she's using a different poison and that poison nearly fucks him up. Not even a lightsaber blade. Dude, Sith are just as vulnerable as Jedi. What the fuck are you talking about? That's a Disney way of thinking. That's finding justifications in your head canon that are outside of the realms of the lore or the canon that actually exist. Fuck off. It depends on whether or not you're a fucking Jedi or a Sith, on whether or not you're going to fucking die from a lightsaber wound. That's so dumb. That's so dumb.
If you're a Sith Lord, if you are in the dark side, your pain is what makes you stronger. So if you're in a lot of pain, then you are going to probably survive the more pain you're in, which is just going to fuel your power. It's kind of weird.
It's so stupid. You get run through with a lightsaber. The heat of the lightsaber and everything is fucking roasting your internal organs. And we're supposed to believe that just because your pain is your power, that can restore. This is why I don't care any. This is why I'm outside of the bubble of fucking Star Wars being fucking recovered, being good, because the fans out there that are even still in this possibility of hope with Dave Filoni and everything else that is going on seem to contradict themselves on so many different occasions, but also too sit there and say that this thing over here is fucking shit, but this thing over here is good. The person that made that is the same person that made this over here, but we're supposed to believe that we're on the right track. It's just so stupid. It's so stupid.
Weird like that, but you're in the dark side, right? And so the Jedi say, well, okay, you know what? It's a natural part of life. I'm not going to hold on. I'm not going to fight it. I'm just going to become one with the Force. And so they go.
No. This is the crazy thing is he thinks that every Jedi just becomes one with the Force now, and they just make the choice to let go and become one with the Force. Are we stupid? Are we so stupid to forget that Qui-Gon didn't even complete the training? And again, they fucked up that canon at the Cunton at the end of fucking the Obi-Wan Kenobi show with fucking Qui-Gon actually appearing as a Force ghost. He should be able to communicate through the Force to Obi-Wan and to others, to Yoda and to others. But he doesn't appear. He can't appear. He never completed the training. Oh, he completed the training after he fucking became one with the Force. Bullshit. How did fucking Anakin become a Force ghost at the end of fucking Return of the Jedi? Oh, that's actually explained in the Return of the Jedi novel, where Qui-Gon actually appears to him and says, we don't have much time. Quickly, we need to complete this training. You need to be at peace, blah, 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 and actually gets him there. It's so like, that's the thing about normal Star Wars compared to Disney Star Wars. Star Wars has explanation after explanation after explanation. Now, I'm not going to say that it's perfect. There are holes. But the holes are nowhere near as obvious, nowhere near as prevalent, and nowhere near as important as what the holes are that fucking Disney Star Wars has. The holes that lightsabers seem to make in people's stomachs and then just disappear. Do we remember Sabine getting stabbed and then all it looked like was somebody heated up a fucking gold coin and fucking pressed it against her skin and just branded her with a coin? That's what a lightsaber wound is now. It's pathetic. It's pathetic. It's so fucking pathetic. And we're supposed to sit here and say, oh yeah, Dave Filoni's turning the corner with the Maul fucking show. Mandalorian and Grogu's going to be so fucking good. It's going to be fantastic. It's the Mandalorian. Everybody loves the Mandalorian.
When kind of they just free up and let themselves go.
Warn them do not. Miss them do not.
Whereas the Sith, they're controlling, they're holding on. Their anger is their strength. Chains are broken. And so as much as I would like... The only
reason why he's got to say this is because he wants to sit there and justify why Maul was able to survive being bisected. Because the explanation is that his anger kept him alive. His anger and his pain and his hate. His want for revenge kept him alive. It's pathetic and it's stupid and it's ridiculous. But we've got to continue that justification. And through that justification, now we're making it okay for all Sith to basically survive wounds that Jedi can't survive. Because it's their pain that gives them their power.
Come back. I think that they should stick to the decision that they made and have him be dead now. Are they going to bring him back? For sure. Dude, look what they did with Asajj Ventress. They brought her back through the Night Sisters. They just put her in the pool, in the pond. That's it. They're fine. They come back to life. Darth Maul, the same thing. They're most likely going to bring him back. And this could be the potential only way that we could get George Lucas's sequel trilogy, which I will be making a video on.
He still thinks that Dave Filoni wants what George Lucas wants.
Next. So if you haven't seen my full video about going over beat for beat, line for line, George's sequels from the Paul Duncan interview that he had with him, you should check that video out. It's a pretty good one. Now, there is no one that is as big of a Darth Maul fan as the 9-year-old version of me was. In fact, I think all of us that were like that age in 1999 could say we were equally as infatuated with how cool Darth Maul was, especially in 1998 when all of the promo material, the t-shirts, the books, the mugs,
I'm going to make an argument for the opposite of that. Like, yes, Maul was fucking sick. Maul was cool. He did get taken out. I still think that there was probably more of a admiration for the character of Qui-Gon than there was for Maul after People thought it was wicked. People thought it was cool. People thought the fight was cool. And it did make fans of Maul. I'm not going to deny that, but I don't know. We're rewriting. It seems to be we're rewriting history so that again it makes everything okay.
All the stuff where it's coming out with Darth Maul's face on it, with this double-bladed lightsaber. And I would love for him to be alive. I didn't want him to die, but it made sense, sure. But now they're going to try and bring him back, most likely, because he is so freaking popular and he's so lucrative.
Again, I look at it from the point of view of me as a Star Wars fan. Any other Star Wars fan out there should be on the side of Maul should have stayed dead when he was bisected. If you want to tell more Maul stories, which you can do, which are going to still be awesome and wicked and fucking show Maul being as menacing as he possibly can, then do the fucking novels and just do those in animated fucking movies or animated shows.
So much money. And that's, to be honest, that's why George brought him back in the Clone Wars. And I'm glad that he did because he's a great character. But to bring him back like a third time now,
This is the other thing, too, that I want to say is I don't know whether or not it was actually George that actually brought him back or whether or not it was Dave Filoni that went to him and go, hey, George, what about this? Blah, 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 blah. And he sort of like breaks it down. He's like, oh, okay. Like, I don't know the circumstances of it. Again, we just want to blanket these statements out there of, oh, it was George definitely that actually made the decision and wanted him to come back and blah, blah, blah. That might be the case. If you can show me where the evidence is to prove that like it was 100% George, well then okay, I'll eat my words and I'll fucking eat crow and whatever. But like, again, we're using these specific words to justify why this crap is actually good. Because George Lucas Star Wars, not Kathleen Kennedy. Kathleen Kennedy's gone.
Dude, like it's getting funny. You know, you can't complete like. So how do you kill? You chop off his head? You know, like what is he, like a warlock? Like is it? What is he, Medusa? You know, it's I don't know. There's a line, right?
Well, I don't know if chopping off his head would do anything. I mean, we've chopped him at the waist, we've sliced him down the middle. Now, I don't know how many other ways you can slice and dice him before he actually fucking dies.
And once you pass that line of like, oh well, fatality.
I'm done. I really am done. I'm sorry. We're not finishing that. It is pure, like to me, it seems like pure just justification. Fucking Sith can't die from a lightsaber stab because they feed off the... Whatever. Getting rid of tabs. All right, we're going to get into the quartering stuff. So obviously, if you've been living under a rock, well, you would have no idea. It surprised me. But let's be real. Kino Casino was shooting some shit and, playing some, saying some jokes and, definitely throwing maybe a little bit of shade towards the quartering over his bull, his Jewish bull or whatever. There was, the disrespect that he does show on stream to, I'm not even just going to say his wife, I'll say his family. If there are people that watch him and the way he acts towards certain people and, I've seen him since all of this and on his streams and stuff, and he's sitting there deleting, sitting there deleting people and stuff like that. And it's like, dude, you've got a lot of tickets on yourself. You got a lot of tickets on yourself. And there's some clips here that will show his flagging fucking, and this is the other thing that I don't really understand, right? Is like, okay, so he comes out, he says, like, if you guys don't stop this, all it would take is me to make a phone call, telling me that he doesn't even need to go and flag them. He can just get it done without actually having to really do anything, just make a call. And it almost seems like that's the way. But then you also got the receipts of him showing his history of flagging and the reports that he's being thanked for by YouTube. So there's that as well. But then the other thing too that seems really curious with all of this is like you see Alyssa Clips getting her fucking shit, warned, or I can't exactly remember. Like, You're getting other people that are having their streams and their videos and stuff like this taken down or reported or whatever. And it just seems too coincidental for it to not be you, Jeremy, that's actually doing this. And oh shit. Again, when fucking video not pausing. Sorry, guys. That one paused. Okay. I think we're okay. Now, I will say, I wish I had more clips. Like I've been watching obviously Kino Casino, and I never really watched them as much as I have probably over the course of this last week or so, because of all of this drama. But like I think that one of the first ones that they were doing was just showing how he was acting towards some of the women and stuff like this that were coming onto his stream. And I think I mentioned it on Flashcast. The dude's married, which makes things even worse, right? Because it does show how disrespectful he is willing to be openly to the world, to his wife. And I don't know whether or not that means that it's okay because they've got an open relationship and he's allowed to do all this flirting and he's allowed to be this, I don't know, creepy and cringe. The boob talk and all the other crap that he does. Let's go through some clips. Let's see what I've got here. G'day, OG Star Wars. How you doing, Alora? We're getting into the quartering stuff. If you want to go back, you can. I was talking about Maul and fucking all of that other shit for the first, hour and a half. So this is the thing, though, too, is like some of the things that I have seen from the quartering, just over time, like little clips and little things that I see here and there. I mean, let me just say, I would not certainly say that I am not the sharpest tool in the shed, but he is certainly not the sharpest tool in the shed. It kind of boggles the mind of how successful he has been able to be, with how kind of dumb he is. I saw that. Oh, hang on. Whoa. I saw that clip with him and Hannah and Melanie. It was weird. I've got that. We're going to watch that. Yeah, sweet. Good to see you. Glad you made it too. All right, let's take a listen. To me, this is just funny. Because, look, I, again, wouldn't say that I'm necessarily the biggest geography buff. I don't understand what he's trying to show here and what this map is, because like you've got, it's kind of like the Earth is only like from there to there. But it's like you've got Australia there and Australia there. You've got South America there. You'd have South America there. You've got Africa there. You got Africa there. Like, I don't understand the map, but he's obviously trying to find Iran.
The holding pattern was. So if we go,
he's zooming in to Southeast Asia. Look at he's in Indonesia and Australia, for fuck's sake.
Like there's Australia.
Look at Hannah's face. Bro, he's in South
America.
The Strait of Hormuz.
South America.
Is it?
Now he's
no,
in
not here. I gotta zoom out more.
That's the Atlantic Ocean. That's the Atlantic Ocean.
And this is the other thing too. I mean, if you were planning on bringing this up and you were going to talk, you knew you were going to talk about it, wouldn't you like at least maybe look, if you knew that you didn't know exactly where it was? I mean, it seems like he doesn't even know roughly which region, like which area it is. Like the Middle East is sort of like in here. All he would need to do is zoom in to this area and do a little quick look around and you'd find it.
You're in the wrong fucking hemisphere, you mongoloid.
What is he looking for? What's the thing called?
I couldn't. He's looking for Iran. He doesn't. He's not even. Buddy, are you fucking retarded? Andy had a better idea. At least Andy knows where the Middle East fucking is.
the holding pattern was.
So yeah, they're obviously making fun of him. Now, there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. There's absolutely nothing wrong with showing how stupid he looks. Like, I made the same, I've done the same thing with like Star Wars Theory when he talked about his rating system. I don't know if you remember, I made a video, I think, out of it. But like, it was basically that Ryan Kennel and fucking Mauler made Theory look stupid because Theory was trying to say that he only does his rating of 0 to 10s for like all the Star Wars stuff based on only other Star Wars stuff. So he doesn't see it. And he gave the example that he gives Gladiator, the movie Gladiator, a 10 out of 10. That's a 10 out of 10 movie. He would never put that 10 out of 10 to the same level as a 10 out of 10 that he would give to a Star Wars thing because they're not on the same rating system. Right? So I've gone out and I've given him shit for like that stupid take. Like, that's so dumb. You're not rating your entertainment based on like all entertainment. You're just rating it based off of other Star Wars stuff. And I think he even specified other Disney Star Wars stuff. I've gone out and criticized. That doesn't give fucking Theory the right to come and nuke my channel or anything like that. Just like this doesn't give him the right. And they want to say like Jeremy's trying to say that, going after the family and going after his wife and stuff like this. And we got videos to, Andy definitely, he put out a video today, I think it was earlier today. This was just funny because this was from 3 years ago.
Wait, we did. Oh, so this was a different one we were talking about.
They're talking about the court.
God, this guy is like, does more gaffes than Joe Biden. We talked about this previously. He says, my wife had an emergency landing and caught a ride with another pilot.
So this is the other thing too, is like, you got to remember, Jeremy keeps saying like, they're bringing up my wife. They're bringing my wife into it. We can't put her, I can't talk about her on the internet or, anymore, or I can't even, show a photo or whatever. Like there's conversations, little things out there going on like that right now. Dude, in your tweets, on your streams, all you do is tell embarrassing stories of shitting your pants or fucking this and that. And then you might go into your topics, right? Or whatever. I don't exactly know how the format of your streams work or anything because I don't really watch you, right? But again, from everything that I'm seeing and all the clips that I'm seeing and everything that's sort of coming out, it's crazy how, again, somebody like me that paid no attention to you really whatsoever in the last week, I think knows a lot more about you than fucking the average person just based on everything that I've seen.
To go to the hangar. Female pilot privilege. The moral of the story is I don't have to go pick her up and I get to play more video games. And we're like, dude, your wife is getting railed right now by that pilot. There's no question about it.
No question about it. 3 years ago. See, like all these clips are starting to come out too. Like you just see it all. And dude, he talked about how he could use his power to get these people taken down. He also said that the Kino Casino's channels basically are just walking fucking TOS violations. What's that supposed to tell people? To me, that's the same thing as basically everybody calling a MAGA or a Trump supporter or whatever a fascist, right? Because now it justifies them to go out and commit crimes against those people. Just like now it justifies people to go out and report the Kino Casino because you're saying that their entire channel is a violation of TOS. What else do we have? Here we go. This is the one that you mentioned earlier. I wish I had more because there's the one where he's on stream with, I don't know if it's Hannah or maybe somebody else. He was on by himself and then he starts talking. It was that pregnant chick. She didn't want people to know, first of all, that she was pregnant, but also too, he's talking about her getting her boobs out or something and all of this kind of crap. And then she comes on and you can see how awkward and and weird it all is. And even the conversation goes in different avenues that like all of a sudden he's talking about how, oh, to me, it doesn't really matter if you're pregnant. I'll still fuck you. Like, or something like similar to that. I don't know if I'm exactly getting that right, but it was sort of similar. Weird shit. And then Anna comes on and then he's weird with Anna. And then Brittany comes on and he's so weird with Brittany that Brittany basically rage quits almost immediately as soon as she comes in. Because you're a weird, creepy dude. And then it turns out that all of these girls do what girls do, set up a group chat without you in it and start bickering and nattering about you in that group chat. And then the information from that ends up getting back to you. And you're like, oh, all I did was try and help these people. No, all you wanted to do was show how, I don't know, masculine you were by telling everybody how much you're a boob guy. And how much, you know, you want to fucking fuck all the women that are in your vicinity despite you being married. And this is where I'll say, even if you weren't married, yes, there's been women that I've come across where like, you know, my lust has basically taken over. Where I'm like, man, the things I would want to do to you, run through your fucking head. We're dudes. Right? But you don't fucking go up to them and go, oh, man, the things I want to bend you over and fucking rail you so hard. Like, that's gross and creepy if you even do that. Thinking it, I think a lot of dudes out there have had thoughts like that when they've seen a beautiful woman or something like that. You can't deny it. But you voice it. You got no filter on this shit. You seem to court women by telling them how much you like their boobs. You seem to court women by being creepy and weird like you are in this clip, basically trying to set up a one-on-one while you're a married man with one of your employees. And Melanie, I'm sorry. Look, I know that there's a lot of people coming after you right now, and I thought you were okay. I didn't mind you, you know. There's a lot of people calling you a false Christian and stuff. Don't get me wrong. I've had a bad day where all of a sudden I've come across a Melanie Mac clip. She's read a Bible verse and like, it's actually like, you know, okay, my day isn't so bad anymore. Right? So whether or not she's a fake Christian or not, if she's sitting there reading the Bible, that is the Bible. She's not even necessarily giving her opinions or anything on what's being said or anything like that. She just basically quotes that Bible verse and lets you be on your way, right? I'm not going to deny that I haven't come across those and they've helped me on a day where I've needed a little bit of help from the Lord. And it's just reminded me to go back to him. But Melanie, you're doing yourself no favors by supporting him in this. Whether it be the fact that there's, you know, channel bans going on, right? But I don't know. You tell me, chat, how does she seem in this fucking video? Does she seem like she wants to go on a dinner date and watch a football game or a baseball game or a fucking game with Jeremy the quartering, just the two of them alone, candlelit? You tell me.
Yeah. Melanie and I will be watching the football game tonight, and Hannah.
The fact that she looks straight down the barrel of the camera.
And Hannah Claire will probably be going somewhere family orientated.
I can't watch football with you guys? You can. I would love that.
Oh,
people argue that she mouths "help me" in here. Where is it?
Family oriented.
Hang on, I think I may, but yeah, here.
Hannah Claire will probably
help
be going.
Me. That right there. I'll say it when it looks like she says it.
Claire will probably be
help
going.
Me. Right there. Right there. Right there. Right there. We're right there.
Claire will probably
help
be going
me
somewhere.
Now, look, we can't say that that's what she's fucking saying. You know, it could just be her opening and closing her mouth. But it definitely looks that way, and you definitely look quite uncomfortable. This guy might pay you. At the end of the day, I don't think it's worth the paycheck. I think you can do. I mean, look at Brett Cooper. I don't think it's worth the paycheck.
Family orientated.
I can't watch football with you guys. You can. I would love that.
Oh,
She jumped straight onto that. Okay, so as soon as she apparently mouths, but no, she didn't mouth it, but she mouths, help me. Hannah jumps in and goes, oh, I can't come and watch football with you. Boom! Before he could actually even fucking say anything.
I can't watch football with you guys. You can. I would love that.
Oh, yeah, that would be
Wow, thanks, Melanie. I'm not Jeremy.
Oh, he throws his head back. Oh, shit.
Yeah.
We just didn't know if you wanted to, but I'm great at watching sports. And by that, I mean I'm solidly okay.
Well, yeah, well, we got to figure out where we're going to go. I have a dinner place I want to go, but I got to call.
Okay.
A football game tonight, and Hannah Claire will probably be going somewhere. Claire will probably be going somewhere.
And it is also, too, like, you can say, oh, it doesn't quite look like she's saying help me. Yeah, because she doesn't want it to look like she's saying help me. She's trying to cover it up for the camera, but at the same time, she's trying to get help. I think the next clip that I had was relevant to it as well. Oh, yeah. So this was after Melanie Mack. So this was the crazy thing, too, about the whole Melanie Mack fucking getting married and stuff like that. And I know that there was a few people out there that were, you know, saying, is it real or blah, blah, blah. And it's because there was no real lead up to it. Now, she doesn't have to come out there and say that she's in relationships with these people or anything like that. But it certainly didn't like this is like, what, December last year. So we're talking 4 months ago. Unless she met the dude after this, like, wouldn't she be saying, oh, I can't, I've got, you know, a partner that I can't, you know, I'm not going to go out just for dinner with you. And it does I'm sorry, Melanie, but it does make me want to put my fucking tinfoil hat on and think, did you just fucking, do you just want to pretend that you got married to get Jeremy off your back? Now, I don't want to be a rumor starter or anything like that, but dude, it did come out of nowhere, and it does, like, I don't know. And then Jeremy seemed a little sad after you got married.
If you're in the chat, I'm worried about where Melanie Mack is. Stop being such a fucking loser. You know,
this is the other thing too. The amount of insulting that he's been doing. Like, I mean, I know this was a little bit ago. This was after Melanie got married. But even some of the more recent stuff that I've been seeing with Kino Casino and some of the clips that they've been doing, his passive aggressiveness towards his chat. Dude, there have been people that have said stuff in my chat, and I have been triggered by it, and I've completely blown up at it. And then a couple of fucking chats later, they're going, dude, I was joking. Like, I was actually, like, not being serious. I was just, you know, pretending to be one of the other side or something like that. And you're like, oh, fuck, I'm an idiot, right? Like, you full got me. You know, I thought you were being serious. Dude, you're banning people that I have no doubt that are jumping on the troll. That probably actually still like your content. I don't know how. But this is where you're starting to fall apart. I don't know how you've got an audience that respects you when you disrespect them so heavily. I don't know how you've got an audience that respects you when they can see with their own eyes how disrespectful you are to guests, how disrespectful you are to other women, and how by default that makes you so disrespectful to your wife and your family. You kind of disgust me, Jeremy.
You guys know she's married and she's on her honeymoon. So if you're trying to, like, get a response by being a degenerate piece of shit, like, know that she's my friend. And
see, the other thing too is if he was to respond to the chat in probably a better way, a different way again, the troll wouldn't be so let's just trigger the shit out of him. You feed the fucking trolls. You feed them with your reactions. And this is the crazy thing that people have been saying is, Jeremy, you've been on the internet long enough to know how this works. I've been guilty of being triggered by it. Everybody out there's been guilty of being triggered by it, right? But if you play it off and go, guys, she's on her honeymoon. Like, but you see, this is the thing, is it's weird for you because you were trying to creep on her, right? It completely failed out of nowhere. Jeremy, prior to her getting married, did you know that she was in a relationship? Prior to her getting married, did you know that she was possibly even engaged? It came out of nowhere for you too, didn't it? And it made you sad because you wanted some Melanie Punani. Because maybe your wife is getting some and you're getting none. Like, maybe that is what it is. Maybe she is fucking the pilot and you're, like, still trying to get fucking... No matter how many millions of dollars you make, you still can't seem to be able to hook anyone because you're a sleazy scumbag to them. You think that just because you've got money means that you can disrespect women and they'll come crawling to you. Dude, some of the stories that I've heard you fucking talk about. There was something on dude, Keno Casino's last night's stream, fucking what, 11, 12 hours, whatever the fuck it was, right? But like somebody comes on and they're fucking, you're basically trying to tell them stories about how there was this one time I had a threesome, blah, 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 blah. And it's so crazy. You can almost tell when a person who can't lie well, obviously, tells a fake story. You can tell when a person tells a fake story, like him tells a fake story. Because the details just seem to be very wishy-washy. You seem to just, like you were saying how sort of grossed out and disgusted you were by going through, while you were having the threesome with another dude. And I think you were on stream with some Aussie guys and they were telling you stories and their stories seem to, but the thing is I don't even know if they were coming on there just to tell their fucking past sex stories, their past crazy sex stories. It seemed like you brought it up and they just jumped on it because that's where the conversation was going. Maybe they came in and think, oh, maybe this is what the Core Earrings audience actually likes to talk about. Fucking crazy fucking, sex shitty fucking stories. To make yourself seem like a Chad. That's all it is. That's all it is. You just want to make yourself seem like a Chad out there, like you're some Casanova. Dude, I was a Casanova in my 20s. You're not a Casanova now. I'm not a Casanova now.
It's not going to work. I suppose...
I'd be surprised with a person that acts like this, whether or not he was what he says he was when he was younger, pulling all the chicks and all this kind of shit. I think anybody who's anybody, you had chicks that thought you were gross. You had chicks that liked you. Especially if you're just an average guy. You were picked on. And this is your fucking... It's so funny. It seems to be the way that things fucking go. You were bullied in school and all of this kind of shit. You found some clout. You came into some money and all of this kind of stuff. You treat your chat like shit the way that your bullies used to treat you, right? You treat the women that come into your chat like shit and you like verbally, sexually fucking abuse them. That's strong. I don't want to go that far, right? But the way that you talk is gross. It's just gross. You're fucking disgusting. And I'm sure when you talk like that, all these women are thinking about is how like this slimy, sweaty, fat ass fucking body would be fucking sitting on top of them, trying to fuck them, trying to catch his breath. Gross. It seems to be that when this guy's drunk as well, all you need to do is mention a chick that he knows of or that he wants to fucking, and he'll tell you his fucking wildest fantasies about that fucking chick.
It worked by getting me to say that.
Oh, so the trigger worked by getting you to even address it.
I'm super pumped that we got that good pull on Pokemon because
I'm super pumped. Did you just do a gay clap? Like seriously, dude. Look at this gay clap.
I'm super pumped that we got that good pull on Pokemon because the Pokemon openings have been brutal. There's also this like weird, like Jeremy's friends with a girl, so he's definitely trying to sleep with her thing.
No, dude, it's not the fact that you're friends with a girl that makes people say that you want to sleep with them. It's the way that you interact with these women. It's the way that you talk to these girls, at least from what I've seen. Based on the evidence that I have, Jeremy, you are a creepy, weird dude that wants to just fuck every single chick that crosses paths with you. Every single one.
That has been perpetrated by only people who have never been allowed around girls.
Oh.
And I don't know what to tell you.
The incel community is the one that's coming after him.
I'm friends with a lot of girls, and you're allowed to watch football with them and be married and not be trying to sleep with them.
That's not the way that it looked, though, Jeremy. That's not the way that it looked in that clip. It certainly looked like you wanted a little bit of one-on-one time with Melanie Mack. It certainly looked like Melanie was getting a little bit anxious about the event coming up, seemed to want a little bit of help. Hannah seemed to jump on that help bandwagon, and as soon as she did, you cannot deny what our eyes tell us when we see the disappointment in your face. And the rescue that fucking Melanie looks like she feels in that moment too.
You guys all know I'm a boob guy anyway.
So what? Is that, are you now insulting Melanie because she doesn't have big boobs?
It's like a totally weird fan fiction. I like my boobs, 2 scoops full.
Who says shit like that? Who says shit like that? With the boys or whatever, I'll be sitting there going, dude, yeah, fucking a handful's enough. You don't need these massive things. Yeah, they're cool. They might be big fun bags to play with, whatever, blah, 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 blah. But again, like, I say I'm a leg guy, right? I love fucking a lovely set of legs in some heels. The way the calf muscle looks. I'm a leg dude, right? If I was have to pick between a boob and an ass guy, I'd probably say that I'm a bit more of a boob guy than I am an ass guy, right? But this guy seems to like, he's using the fact that he's a boob guy to say why he wouldn't go after and why it's weird for him to want to go after Melanie. It's not doing you any favors.
All right. So I love Melanie, but, as a friend.
I love Melanie, but as I just mentioned, I'm a boob guy. So, even if Melanie said, yeah, let's go for it, rock my world, Jeremy, I'd say no because I'm a boob guy.
It's easy to do. She's great. She's a ride or die type of person.
Yeah, and she's dying right now because you've...
Do I think...
Better not finish that sentence.
Yeah, to get back with the content. Well, the last thing I have to open right now is
Is that it? That's it.
Another lore.
What else have we got? Oh, this just popped up. It came across because, again, people are fucking now starting to put a whole heap of shit out there. Rex Jones sends the quartering home with a nickel. You're admitting you're not a serious person. So again, like, why are you having a guest on if you're just going to be passive aggressively fucking talking to them, right? Like, I'm more than happy to, let's say, speak with Star Wars Theory and have disagreements with him and stuff like that. But I don't think I would ever get to a point where I could be this disrespectful.
And if I went the way the wind blows, I'd be following that. I'd be following the Israel clicks, like a lot of you guys are.
I just follow my opinion, and sometimes we don't agree on that, and sometimes it's different than yours.
You're actively lying. You're playing the fence-sitting game. We have you here. You say this is all hyperbole. You say this is an obvious joke. We're going to read this, and then we're going to read the comments, see if people agree.
Yeah.
It's all laughing. No deal. Just bury them, take their oil, and move on with our lives. What are we even doing here in response to the negotiation? That's all a ha-ha to you?
Yeah, it is. It's a hilarious joke to me. All of this is stupid. I think that I get that maybe X means more to you than it does to me. Like, that is totally real. Like, when you send out tweets, maybe you're like really thinking about it and really crafting it and stuff like that. And that's probably why you have.
So why should anyone take you seriously ever again about anything that you say? If everything is just jokes and you don't sit there, there have been tweets that I've put out where I haven't put any thought into it and I've just put them out. A great example on the weekend was actually asking you, Quartering, how was your weekend? And I realized that I didn't even put the R in your. I was that drunk. I just put the how was you weekend? That was a tweet that I put out that was jokes, that didn't mean anything or anything like that. The tweets that I put out where I'm actually kind of being a bit more serious are the ones where I do have something to say about the Bondi Massacre. If I tweet about the Bondi Massacre here in Australia, is it because it's on Twitter, it's not serious? It's all just jokes. This gives him an out. This gives him an out that when he's being confronted, it's all just jokes. But then you could say the same thing about Kino Casino. It was all just jokes, Jeremy. And the funny thing is mainly it was just all just jokes based on any and all evidence that they had. They're saying they're not going after your wife, or they're going after you and telling you that you are being disrespectful to your wife. You're the one that puts your wife out into the internet space with your tweets and your comments and your streams and all the stories that you tell and everything. But the disrespect comes from how you actually act towards other women and how creepy and weird you are towards these women. That is actually the most disrespectful thing to your wife.
Better, maybe a bigger following than me. I use Twitter to shitpost because Twitter is completely overrun by bots and is largely useless. So when I rip off a comment like that,
you're admitting you're not a serious person, are you? It's all
no, I am not, Rex. No, I'm not a serious person. I never said.
So, he's now thinking, what the fuck am I doing here then? What the fuck am I doing here then? Because I am a serious person. I want serious conversations about this topic. Why should anyone ever fucking stream with Jeremy again? Nothing is ever serious. Nothing ever really matters. It's all just jokes.
But I was.
Okay.
What are you talking about? Of course I'm not serious, dude. I talk about Brie Larson's tits on the internet, man.
Okay.
And again, he's like, okay, what am I fucking doing here? I can guarantee you that's what he's thinking. Why am I talking to you? Why do you have a platform as big as you've got?
All right. Why do you even take the time to worry about politics if it's such a big joke to you? And you say it's X that's a big deal to me. It's actually the dead children. You don't seem to take that seriously.
Oh, yeah. Well, who couldn't think of the kids, Rex? Geez. If we would just think of the kids, we could really push forward some awesome authoritarianism like you seem to like, because if we just do,
I don't know who this guy is, and I don't know whether or not I'd like him or not, right? But the passive aggressive actual stupidity coming out of his mouth. You know who you sound like right now? You sound like Kamala Harris. You sound like Grace Randolph. You sound like these people that word vomit words to fill in awkward silences and gaps, and nothing means anything, and you look stupid doing it.
Just think of the kids, that's why we locked down, right, Rex? Are you a fan of those lockdowns? Because that was for the kids, right?
And pivot argument that has nothing to do with anything. There's a genocide.
But why would you bring that up when you're not being serious? You're never being serious.
Going on right now. He's laughing at the dead children. That's what you're doing right now. You're making light of it. That's disgusting. You're a disgusting.
Yeah, I like your position here. I like how intense you are. I love this energy for a late Thursday night.
I despise people like you that are ignorant.
And again, he piles on. I love the energy. I don't know. To me, You're a snake. You're a fucking evil. You call yourself a born-again Christian? Man, keep studying, buddy. I hope you get there. I hope you get there. Wow. Because you know what happened to me after my experience? And I'll say, my experience was I was in a really dark place. And this isn't that long ago, actually. I had an experience. I don't want to go into details. I'm sorry. I had an experience with Jesus, which sparked my faith. And then the Charlie Kirk thing happened, and I was all in. Right? The Charlie Kirk, I have no doubt that it had a massive, profound, but I don't. The crazy thing for me is it wasn't just the Charlie Kirk moment that actually converted me back, or I found my faith again. It was something that happened before that. I in a really bad place. I don't really even want to talk about it because it's so far gone, and I'm so far out of that headspace. I don't even want to actually consider being back in that headspace again. And that's thanks to God. That's thanks to Jesus. And then the Charlie Kirk thing happened, and that like fully ignited me. But you know what that did to me? A lot of that anger and the hatred and stuff like that I had for some of my family members and all of this kind of thing, it softened. It actually had a profound feeling of that. Not just me saying it. It wasn't just words. It was something that actually physically happened to me. I can't explain it. And I could choose to say that it was just a coincidence. It's not God. It's just, me being powerful over me or whatever, right? But it also changed the way I interact with people. It changed my heart. And you know one thing that I've noticed? If I don't know what you were like before fucking the Charlie Kirk incident and your find of faith, but dude, you disgust me in the way that you act towards people. You disgust me in the fact that you've got no fucking grace in you. You've got nothing. And we're all sinners and we all fall short of the grace of God. I get that, right? We can't all be expected to be God, like God. But the one thing that we can expect from each other is to try and be more godly. And that's the one thing that I don't see from you at all. In fact, the way you speak to the women since Charlie Kirk stuff, the way you speak to your chat since the Charlie Kirk stuff, and the way that I've seen that you've spoken to some of your guests and the things that have been going wrong for you. Dude, it doesn't seem like God is in your court right now. You need to repent. But you don't know what that is. You didn't even repent when you converted or you born again. You didn't repent. You don't even know what the definition of the word is. And I hope that you do. Before it's too late. It's too late. No one's going to trust you ever again. No one's going to want to stream with you ever again. You've destroyed yourself, and you're blaming Kino Casino, and you're blaming everybody now that's coming out doing videos and piling on. And you doing whatever you can to try and flag this shit down. And look, it might not necessarily completely destroy you. You will always find other corners of the internet that actually have no idea the real kind of person that you are until 2-3 years down the track, and they find out the kind of person you really are. Because it seems, I saw a clip on Kino Casino's stream again last night. This happened like 6 years ago with another person. With the quartering. You have Matt Jarbo coming out and giving you advice.
Okay, I haven't addressed this in video yet, but I'm going to be doing a live stream later on tonight to kind of go more into it. But let me just say this, because I feel like after Jeremy did 3 videos about me when my situation happened.
Good rant, Rhino. Well, thank you. I appreciate it.
In 2018, I kind of feel like I owe him one, at least one, right? Let me just kind of start with saying this. Jeremy, do an apology video. Come on, get your phone out. You can do it. Drunk, sober, it doesn't even really matter. Just go out there and admit you fucked.
The thing is even now with the apology doesn't change a damn thing. The apology actually probably makes things worse. To be honest, it's something that is necessary for any sort of forgiveness to even spark anything. But if he apologizes, that he needs to admit fault to being a part of the entire campaign of getting these channels taken down. And I don't think he'll ever come to terms with that. I don't ever think that he could ever admit to that. Oh, hello to the lurkers. How you doing? Yizzy Rizzo.
Up because you did fuck up. Whether or not you flagged or not, let's be clear about that for a second. You threatened it publicly.
Yep.
You said it privately.
He threatened it publicly, but he also threatened it publicly in the exact way that it sort of went down, right? Like, he mentioned that he didn't have to flag. Now, he may have gone in and flagged with that channel, with that thing that's been revealed to us and everything, but I swear there's been phone calls. There's been phone calls.
Privately, and then it happened.
And that's what he said that he was going to do.
People are going to start connecting those dots whether you want them to or not. The internet is nothing if not great for jumping to conclusions.
Did I get
and
it
there
right?
is no preponderance of...
Yassi Rizzo. Or Rizzu. If we're doing the ooh at the end. I'm retarded. You got to remember this. I'm dyslexic and retarded, which is a bad combination to be.
Evidence you will ever be able to present that will ever fully exonerate you, and it just never will. You're never gonna beat the allegations of this whole thing. Believe me. I know. So your best course of action,
thank you,
make a video. Like you told me to do the same thing at MythCon 2018. Make a video. You told me that like at least 3-4 times while I was there. Make a video. Own up to your mistakes. Own up to your mistakes.
This is the thing. Him owning up to his mistakes now. He should have fucking let this go before the bans and everything happened. If he did the apology and look, okay, make fun of me, whatever, like whatever, right? It is what it is, whatever, right? If he had just done that, there might have been some sort of recovery for him. I don't know about the cuck allegations and all of that other shit, but like, there might have been some recovery for him. Where we are now, whether or not he comes out and says, look, I apologize for my actions during all of this. I actually still had nothing to do with the banning, but I'm doing everything I can with any connections that I've got to try and get the ban lifted, blah, 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 blah. No one's going to believe you, Jeremy. You're done. You did it. You're over. And I say you're over from the perspective of a lot of people right now, it's over for you. You could possibly come back and you could possibly recover. I don't know. But fuck, man, you've fucked yourself.
And come clean. It's not going to stop the bleeding, but it can help because this whole thing is going to break out of the sector. And when it gets out of the sector, you're going to have your larger commentators talk about this. Hassan Piker, maybe. Gonna blow your ass out of the water with that one, right? Charlie, Moist Critical, like some of the big name dudes who don't like you are gonna come after you. H3 is gonna come after you. These guys.
And what's happened now since this video? They're all fucking Asmongold, like they're all talking about it.
Guys are gonna come after you, and when they come after you, there's no containing the breach.
Yep. Well, it's already
the message that they
I think even before Jarbo came out with this video, the breach has been fucking there's no closing it. It's done. It's over. It's out. The cat's out of the bag. Everybody's talking about it and everybody knows what you did. Whether or not you want to say that you didn't do it, whether or not you didn't do it. The evidence all points to you being involved. And there's nothing I don't think you could ever do now or say for people to change their mind on that.
And the narrative that they present whether it be true or false, will not stop the hemorrhaging.
We're gonna watch.
This
it,
is
don't
your
worry.
life now. You're never beating the allegations.
Yep.
So, you know, I don't want to sit there and be all like schadenfreude about it or anything, because I am an empathetic person. And I'm going to give you the advice you never gave me. I'm going to tell you the reason why you should do this. Because this is the best thing to protect not only your mental health, but whatever shred of credibility you are going to have left in this space. Because take it from me, once you lose the trust of your audience, you're fucked.
He hasn't just lost the trust of his audience. He's lost the trust of his peers.
And you are right there.
Mm-hmm.
So the choice is now yours.
It's done. It's over. That's where it's over. The choice is gone. You lost your choice. You lost that fork in the road. Gotta stop smoking. You lost that fork in the road the moment the channels started going down. Here we go. Let's take a listen to what Asmongold actually has to say about it.
And yeah, what's your opinion on what's going on with the quartering? I think that the quartering is, I think he's totally fucked up, if you want me to be honest. I think he's totally fucked up.
That's an understatement. And I think you can take the upped at the end of that sentence out. He's completely fucked. He hasn't just completely fucked up. He's completely fucked. And he did it to himself. In other news, you hear about Johnny Somali. I haven't heard about the sentence. I have heard. I was actually going to go and watch Legal Mindset. Yeah, I know he was covering it. Not that I'm a massive fan of Legal Mindset, I will say that.
And I think it was a massive mistake to try to deplatform Kino Casino. I can't see why he would do that. I think it was ridiculous. And yeah, he's going, bro. Well, I'm just saying in general, right?
He broke the number one rule.
Odd to do something like that, and I don't really know why you would want to. And he's spiraling. Yeah, I mean, he kind of is. I mean, I would say it's something like that. And he's felt he's a cuck. He's finished. Maybe, I don't know. And isn't a coffee band called Coffee Brand Coffee? Yeah.
This is a thing that I love about Asmon. He's like, there's somebody in the chat saying he's finished, he's over, he's done, blah, blah, blah. And he's like, yeah, I don't know. Like he's always good with being neutral in the way. And that's the thing that I love about Asmongold. He's good at just being really neutral. Now, I'm sure he's got his own heavy opinions on it. I don't know whether or not he doesn't necessarily voice them all the time. But yeah, I think anybody looking at this can see that fucking Jeremy has fucked himself. And it's crazy to think that some of these people that make it so big in these spaces and that, like, you know, you could say they've financially got they're made, they've got themselves set. You know, I would love to be in that space. I would love to be able to pay off my mortgage and not have to fucking, you know, suffer through mortgage payments every week and every month and all of that kind of shit. But fuck, the amount of times I see these people fucking destroy themselves once they've actually been able to make it almost makes you not want to make it. You know, am I gonna fuck up this badly? Am I gonna start acting really creepy towards women on streams?
I think it's something like that. The quartering got really washed. Well, I think the problem is that a lot of people don't like the concept of being criticized and having people like
how much is your soul worth?
Obviously.
Yeah.
And because of that,
yeah, exactly.
I think that what happens is that they think that they can shut somebody down doing that. But
I don't think there's any amount of money, especially now with the way that I am in my faith. I don't think there's any amount of money that I could sell my soul for. My soul belongs to Jesus. Sorry, I just need to check what this is. Oh, sorry. Sorry.
Almost every single instance of somebody trying to shut down criticism, what ends up happening is it creates a larger effect that just makes more people aware of it. And I think that's the main issue. No, it's weird to go after his wife. The thing is that it is weird to go after a person's wife, but it's even weirder to have a channel shut down. So the problem is that
but also too, I feel like somebody like Asmongold, who obviously hasn't been paying a massive amount of attention to it, and we'll hear what Warski has to say because he did a video on it just to get clarification out there. And they've been saying it on their streams and stuff like that in regards to them going after his wife. They haven't been. And I don't believe in what I've seen that they have been going after his wife. Jeremy puts his wife out there. Jeremy says that she's not on the internet and stuff like this, where he puts her on the internet. He puts her out there. He tells the stories. He fucking tweets with his wife's information and wife's stories and stuff like that out there. But then also, too, I don't even think that they're going after necessarily those stories. They talk about him pooping his pants, which was one of the stories that he told, which I don't think it necessarily involved his wife. Maybe they brought his wife into it, and they're like, imagine being his wife and him coming home, and he's got poopy pants, and he stinks like poop, and she's got to fucking deal with this poopy baby, like, or something like that. Just making jokes out of it, perhaps, maybe, something like that. But I think where they're coming from in regards to these attacks that they're having towards your wife is more so the fact that they're pointing out your disrespect to your wife that you give your wife on your streams. I didn't know you smoked, Rhino. Yeah, I've smoked a long time, buddy. A long time. There have been moments I've quit. I've relapsed and fucking, yeah. Smoking is not good. Don't smoke. It's really not.
you have like being harassed or something like that, you're really trying to report people for like bullshit and getting people's channel taken down. Like there are a lot of reasons why you can get a person's channel taken down that you could rationalize, justify, make excuses for, or
that's the other. Yeah, there you go. Saltysaurus Rex. Yeah, he just did it Monday. Jeremy kept calling out his wife by her first name on stream, like he's gloating in front of his critics. I'm sorry, but again, everything that I've seen from those guys, the casino guys, hasn't been them going after your wife. It's not like they're calling out your wife for her actions or anything like that, other than maybe if within the story she does something questionable within the story that you're telling, maybe then they're jumping on that and going, why would she do that? That's bloody stupid. She's just as stupid as maybe you are. I don't know. I don't have necessarily all the context of all of that stuff, but it certainly seems like from any context that I have seen, that it has purely just been them going after you for the way that you treat your wife.
Something else. But I think the reality is that if you allow something like that to happen, you're just going to make everything a lot worse. And it's called the Streisand effect. Yeah, it is.
Yes, I was 14 when I started. And it was cool back then to fucking smoke. Don't smoke. Don't do it.
So kind of what Nick Merckx did.
Burn your money.
I don't know really about that. I have no...
But it's not even smoking now. It's not even smoking now. It's fucking vaping, isn't it?
No idea about it. And they didn't go after his wife. But what I'm saying is that nobody wants to have other channels get shut down because there is some sort of issue that you had with the channel owner, right? And I think that is a very, very toxic mindset to have.
100%. Let's see, what else have I got here? What's this one? The quartering stated that he's having a hard time tuning. This is, was this from today or something from his stream today? Let's see, 32 seconds.
I think Christians have, it's not always like that. I was born in the church and I was a perfect Christian and then I continue to be a perfect Christian all the time. Like that's not how humanity works.
Exactly.
Yeah, I mean, right now I'm definitely struggling with my ability to forgive. That's for sure.
Your ability to forgive. You're talking about your ability to forgive. What? Nobody's apologized to you for you to have to forgive them. What are you talking about? You're the one that needs to apologize, and it's then up to the casino guys or anybody else out there on whether or not they forgive you, Jeremy. What the fuck are you talking about? I'm having a really hard time right now finding it in myself to forgive. Forgive them for what? For making jokes about you? We're supposed to forgive you for taking channels down. Is that what you're trying to say? You're allowed to take channels down, and we're supposed to say, sorry, Jeremy, we're sorry that you had to go through this. Delusion. Wow.
and my turning the other cheek has been a real struggle for me as of lately. But ultimately,
yeah, you can't turn the other cheek. Whoa. You turning the other cheek is banning people. You turning the other cheek is banning people.
ultimately, yeah, I mean, look, they both said their piece.
Oh, man. Kind of wish there was a little bit more to that clip, to be honest. And this is Ethan Klein again talking about the current situation.
Do you think you all will cover the quartering crashing out? You know, I've been hearing that he was battling with those casino guys.
Yeah, he got their channel banned somehow.
Oh, they got banned? They're like banned?
Like straight up their channel
Nuked.
got erased. And it was following his threat saying he was going to do so. Which I don't know how the fuck quartering has any pull.
Does he have?
That's the most confusing.
This is the thing that's crazy to a lot of people is, like, it's undeniable that you are involved in this quartering. It's just so coincidental that all the videos and all the channels that seem to be coming down all have to do with you. Isn't it just crazy? You got nothing to do with it. But it's also crazy to think how you've got that kind of power. And whether or not that gives you a big head or not, it really shouldn't. And you know what? We've all learnt as nerds and geeks and everything out there, with great power comes great responsibility. And you've used your power in a way that nobody's ever going to forgive you for. Nobody's ever going to forget it. And nobody's ever going to forgive you. No matter how many apologies you put out there, no matter how much you try to prove that you had nothing to do with it and you never flagged and blah, 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 nobody is ever going to believe you ever again. And nobody's going to want to hang out with you except for the people that you're paying.
About it.
Interesting. Well, we might go. We'd have to look into it.
We've got to. Dude,
I planned on looking into it tomorrow.
It's so off the rails. We've got to.
Dude, if you guys aren't already looking into it, you've got so much to catch up on. There are so many clips. There are so many videos. The entire circumstances and series of events through the Kino Casino streams and what they've been talking about and how then that blew fucking Jeremy up. And dude, you're so far behind the 8 ball guys already. It's going to take you a while. Now, I was going to watch Legal Mindset's video on this, but I think we've sort of run out of time. We've run our course. And basically, I believe that Legal Mindset is trying to say that there is the possibility of a lawsuit here with the way Jeremy's going about everything, the evidence that's actually out there right now. Nothing and none of this is looking good for Jeremy. None of it's looking good for Jeremy. I stand with the Kino Casino on this one. Whoa, buddy! I stand with the casino on this one. And again, for somebody, it's so crazy. All this attention has been brought to Jeremy, the quartering. And again, for somebody that never watched really the quartering, obviously knew who he was, seen his appearance on Friday Night Tights, and I think it was Friday Night Tights, and, you know, seen him here and there on streams here and there and everything else. But from what I've seen over the course of the past, fortnight, over the past 2 weeks, dude, you disgust me. You're a disgusting human being. I pray for you. And I don't think you know, it's one thing to just say words when it comes to religion, when it comes to following Jesus, you know, and it's another thing to try and live it to the best of your ability. I was about to say, you know, it's up to you to live that way. Whereas, you know, we can try and live that way, but once again, we all fall short. We all do. And it kind of disgusts me too in the fact that you would try and use faith, you would try and use Jesus to spark clout. You know, because I wouldn't want to use Jesus that way. Jesus. Could you imagine? Could you imagine trying to use Jesus for clout to try and make money? I don't know. The last thing that I will say is, dude, you need to repent. You need to repent. You need to apologize. You need to just tell the truth. The truth will set you free. You need to tell the truth, and it's probably not going to fix anything. It's probably not going to change anything. In fact, the truth will probably make things worse for you. But you know what? You know what? If you tell the truth, it's very different. If something, you know how crazy it was when I woke up that morning and fucking, you've got the clip of you bringing up your fucking, the search bar, and it comes up with the reports and stuff like that. It's only going to keep getting worse, dude. And the crazy thing is that it's almost like karma's out to get you. It's almost like, I'm sorry to say, it's almost like Jesus has, not that he turns his back on anyone, but it seems like he's turned his back on you. You seem to be trying to use him, and he's like, I don't know you. And now all the fucking shit is just blowing up in your face. You sell your soul to the devil, eventually it'll catch up on you. Jesus seems to be the new grift. And it does, it's funny, Matthew, that you say that, because, you know, there are people out there, and I'm watching a lot and stuff like this. And yes, there was a massive resurgence since the Charlie Kirk assassination and all of that sort of thing. It had a profound effect on me and my faith. But again, it's one thing to say that you're doing, and dude, I still struggle every day with certain things that I do that I'm like, man, I don't want to do this. And I know that what I'm doing is wrong, and I know that what I'm doing is sinful, and I don't want to do it. But like the addiction side of it might have something to do with it. You know, smoking cigarettes ain't good for me. Like, there's a lot of shit, but it depends on how you are in your heart with it all. I look at my sin and I go, fuck, man, I'm going to go to hell. No matter how much I sit here right now and think, I do believe in Jesus. He is my Lord and Savior. He did come and sacrifice himself for my sin and everybody else's sin, past, present, and future, right? And I still don't think that I'm going to heaven. And it scares me. And it fucking scares the shit out of me. But see, Jeremy, you don't, and it's evident that you don't think like that. Because you proudly voice your sin to the world, for the world to see. Talk about pregnant women and hopefully fucking them, or, you know, how you're a boob guy, and Melanie Mack's not good enough because your boobs aren't big enough. You talk about how you want to impregnate fucking Brittany Venti. You proudly present your pride and your sin and everything for the world to see, and you call yourself Christian. I pray for you, buddy. I pray for you. I'm fearful of my eternity in hell. You seem to want your eternity in hell. Mr. Bantham, for his 6th-month member chat. It is something you have to work at every day. 100%. 100%. There are times where I pray, where I'm on my knees and I'm actually praying. There are times where I'm walking around the house and I'm actually just trying to have a conversation with Jesus. I don't know whether or not that counts as praying or not. I still ask him for stuff and I still talk, and, you know, maybe my neighbors might think I'm crazy. I'm standing here fucking walking around the house talking to myself. Not that they can see if I'm actually talking to anyone or not. But dude, you need to repent, Jeremy. And it doesn't seem like you're willing to. It doesn't seem like you're going to. And this is just going to continue getting worse for you. And you're hoping that it will just blow over. And maybe, perhaps, there's a possibility that it might just blow over. But even if the heat of the moment, of everything that's happening right now, does actually blow over, no one's going to trust you. No one's going to want to work with you. No, it's done. You're done. You're going to get diminishing returns, just like Disney Star Wars. You were already starting to see your diminishing returns before all of this controversy. Hence why you were going after D-Day Cobra Jeremy, and hence why you were going after Gary and Critical Drinker and those guys, Mauler. I don't exactly know. I might have added other people in there, but it's basically the same thing. You're still jealous of all of these people that are actually putting content out there that actually people care about. People are actually interested to hear what these people have to say, because they might actually have some intelligent takes on what it is that they're commentating on, unlike you, Mr. I Can't Find Iran. Don't even know where the Middle East is. Mr. fucking... I remember there was one time he was talking about Star Wars, and I could probably go back and find the video because I think that's where I saw it, but he was talking about Star Wars, and nearly everything that he was saying in it was completely wrong, but also, too, completely wrong from the perspective of you if you were a fake fan, you wouldn't even speak like this. Your understanding of that entire situation is completely wrong, and you're trying to play it off as that's exactly what happened, or exactly what it is. You seem to do no research before you start spitting facts from your point of view about certain topics. And to me, that just comes across as a grift. Read up on St. Augustine. His story will speak to you, Rhino. Dude, there is so much I still need to learn. Like, I haven't even finished the Bible. Finishing the Bible. Dude, I think I've read through the 4 Gospels and Acts and Romans, and I seem to just stick in there at the moment because I've gone back and I've read over those parts of the Bible like multiple times at the moment. And I know that there's still so much more to get out of it, but I'm still so lost in just those, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 books, that I keep going over them. So every time I go over them, I get something more out of it, and I'm actually learning sort of that way. So I think a Bible study of some kind will help me, but I've got massive trust issues and stuff like that when it comes to religion. Massive. I've talked about it on my channel a couple of times. I've also talked about it a couple of weeks ago on Flashcast. But my religious background is very, very rocky, very shady. I have massive trust issues. And in a nutshell, it was basically I was as a Maltese boy, coming from that WOG background and everything. I was baptized Catholic as a kid. Around the age of 6, 7, somewhere there, around the time my younger sister was born. Around there, my parents went to Islam. We became Muslim till I was about 12 or 13, which is a nightmare, fucking nightmare. I got some stories to tell you about that period of my life. And then it was Scientology. And that's where my immediate family still are. There was a bit of controversy back in my early 20s when I was still involved in Scientology and I didn't really want to work at the church anymore. And then they declared me a suppressive person. So my family wasn't allowed to speak with me, associate with me, or talk to me. That was up until I was about 28, 29. So nearly 10 years. Didn't speak to them. And they were, you know, Scientology is thicker than blood, basically. And it wasn't until they were able to swindle their way through all the fucking red tape of Scientology and everything to get me undeclared so they could spend time with me and stuff. And then there was 10 years in there where I was sort of seeing them. I will say the conversations just seemed to be all small talk, right? Like we never had that same connection that we had before the breakup happened and everything. And then more recently, I sort of disconnected with them, because their entire worlds revolve around Scientology, and Scientology destroyed my life. Destroyed my life. You know, and you know, even me just saying this, like in what I've done in regards to disconnecting from them now after another 10 years of being around, I think I've been declared a suppressive person again because I put a post out on Instagram, an anti-Scientology post on Instagram, and said, I know from personal experience is what I wrote on it. And then somebody reported that back to the church. And I believe, I don't know 100% certain, but I think I've been declared a suppressive person again by the church, which means, again, even if I wanted to make up with my immediate family, they wouldn't be allowed to make up with me because Scientology said so. So that's kind of where I'm at right now with everything going on. And, you know, finding my faith in the last, 12 months or so, finding Jesus, walking with Jesus, reading the Bible, speaking to some people out there that I trust. But now you got to understand, this is why I don't exactly know how a Bible study works, but just the thought of a Bible study, I'm so like, I know about that. Let me just walk with Jesus. Let me try and learn on my own. The hard thing is trying to learn this and trying to understand this on your own is fucking difficult. I'm not going to deny that. I'm not going to deny that. You know, I've spoken to Jay. I've spoken with Drunk 3PO a little bit about this stuff, and he's been very helpful. And at least I am able to speak with somebody that I trust about it. Not that Jay knows absolutely everything there is to know, but at least I can actually have a conversation with him where I will actually listen to what he has to say because I do trust him. So, you know, and even my mate came over the other night and I was, talking about, and we've been talking about faith and stuff like this a fair bit in more recent times, which I've really enjoyed being able to have those conversations with him. And he's like, dude, you got to go to church. And I'm like, yeah, I do, but I don't know if I can. I honestly don't know if I actually can right now still. Because I feel like with the way that I've been manipulated in the past through these religions and stuff like this, I don't want to, maybe I'm the yes guy. Maybe I'm the guy that hears this and I'm like, yeah, that's incredible. Yeah, give me fucking Judaism. Give me fucking Buddhism. Like they give me some incredible stories. And I'm like, yeah, all right. Yeah, I'll believe that. Like, I don't want to be that guy. And I feel like in the past, through my youth especially, I was a little bit of that guy. And I don't like that. And I don't want to be like that. And that's what's created my trust issues. And it annoys me too, because like I always wanted to be a young dad. I always wanted to get married young and all of this kind of stuff. And my relationships were destroyed. My girlfriend at the time, Emma, when the church originally declared me a suppressive person, I think I was around 20, 21 years old, somewhere there. I think me and Emma only lasted another 6 months. I became a mess. God, I wish I could fucking... She changed her phone number on me. That's how bad I got. I was living in her parents' house on her parents' couch. because my parents kicked me out of the house. My dad and I, we had an argument. We were this fucking far away from each other. Oh, God. I hate thinking about those times, to be honest with you. I continue just to look forward now with Jesus in my heart and Jesus in my fucking presence. He took away my anxiety. He took away the suicidal thoughts. I just hope now and pray to Jesus that he can give me, help give me the strength and help give me the family that I actually wanted all along. Because it got to a point in my life where I was like, dude, I don't even love myself. Why would I want a girlfriend? Why would I want somebody to come into my world? I'll probably end up destroying their world because I hate myself. And now I'm 42 years old, single. Yeah, I've got a house, got fucking, I'm doing fine. But the one thing that I can't seem to change my decision on, because that was a decision that I made, that I didn't want a missus. I didn't want a girlfriend because I am fucked up. And now that that has been reversed and I'm sort of like, oh, fuck, I wish I wasn't so hard on myself. I wish I saw that what Scientology actually did to me was a blessing in disguise when they actually declared me. It got me out of the cult. It got me able to actually see what they actually do. It got me to do a little bit of research into it, not looking at, because they tell you within the church, no, don't look at that stuff. That stuff's all bullshit. They're just trying to fucking slander us and everything else. But when you actually go and look at the information, and it's like, holy shit. Holy shit. And now I want a family again, and I want kids again, and I want to have a missus and all of that kind of stuff. I want there are some, I'm not going to deny, there's nights where it's fucking lonely. I come home from work and I don't even hear the sound of my own voice. I might say hello to the cats. And it's I don't expect any sympathy from anyone or anything like that. There have been decisions that I made based on the results of some of these things that I did to destroy my own life as well, especially drugs. So, I'm not going to take all the responsibility out of my own hands. It's my own life. But you know what's crazy? I remember I moved to Queensland for about 6 months when the declare first happened, and I was a mess. I was suicidal. I was fucking completely a mess and everything. I went up to go and do a job, and the effect of all of this fucked that job opportunity for myself as well, right? In that fuckery of that job being completely fucked up for me, I ended up going for a walk by myself in Queensland. I had no idea where the fuck I was. I ended up in the middle of a park, and I was asking God, not that I ever really knew what God was. You got to understand, my entirety of Catholicism and my understanding of any of that changed when I was 7 years old, from Catholicism to Islam and then to Scientology. I knew nothing. So I'm there in the middle of a park asking God, why are you doing this to me? I was close with my family. I was a mummy's boy. I was fucking, all of this kind of shit. But then I fucking turned my back on God, and then I went down the dwindling spiral. I specifically remember it. One of the most painful things was the fact that during that declare, my entire family, or my immediate family, the ones that are involved in Scientology, definitely not. I was, yes, not, no. Fuck that joint. So I've got family that are involved in it, and I got family that aren't involved in it. And of course, this blew up throughout and rippled through the entirety of the family. But because the members of my family that are involved in it couldn't have the family members that aren't involved in it thinking that this situation and this fucking battle that we've got going on between me and them, right, has anything to do with Scientology, my mum decided to write them all a letter telling them that I was an alcoholic, telling them that I was a drug addict, and at the time I wasn't either of those two, telling them that I threatened to murder a family member and that I was a pedophile. That's what my mum told my grandparents. That's what my mum told my aunties and uncles. And it's so funny. It's so funny because all the members of my family that told me that they received this letter, not one of them would allow me to read the letter. They told me basically what was in it, but they all told me that they didn't believe it. And the funny thing was that before that letter, a lot of them were putting the blame on me. What did Ryan do to Rhino? Ryan, same fucking thing. What did Rhino do to warrant those family members saying that? Or sorry, not even saying that. What did Ryan do for this breakup to happen? Right? They were all blaming me until they got that letter. Until they got that letter. You should have seen me. The first people that told me about it were my grandparents. I bawled my eyes out. I couldn't believe what I was hearing. Could not believe what I was hearing. So anyway, Jesus is Lord, Christ is King, and he has taken my anxiety, he's taken all my fear and everything, and he is King. And that's where I sit now. Why did that all come up? It was mainly because of the way Jeremy is and the fact that he calls himself a born again. You know, he's got all this faith in Jesus and he believes in God and all of it. And he calls himself a Christian and all of this kind of stuff. But his actions, I don't know what they were before the convert. But if they were anything like they are after the convert, then you're nothing. You're lying to God himself, basically. Lying to God himself. So that's where we sit. And that's where the quartering sits. And we'll see how this plays out. I don't think it's going away anytime soon, as much as he probably wants to continue ignoring it. And as much as he thinks that, you know, he's owed an apology for some strange reason. He's finding it hard to turn the cheek. What a cuck. What a bitch. You're a beta bitch and you're a creepy, weird beta bitch. Jeremy of the quartering. Ladies and gentlemen, I think it's going to be all over. But we'll see. Like, I mean, what? He's got a multi-million sub channel. What a story. Wow, Godspeed, Rhino. I hope you find the peace you seek. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. The thing that I've learned over my time and, you know, having such a, I got to say, I do have a very unique story and it's a pretty crazy story. Everyone has a story. Everybody's story is unique. Sometimes they're good stories. Sometimes they're bad stories. It's just the one thing that, you know, my circumstances aren't any better or any worse than anybody else's that's out there. So the one thing that I'll say is finding God has been the one thing in my life, the one moment in 42 years of life where I'm actually not really afraid of what's to come. I'm also, the only thing that I'm afraid of right now is ending up in hell. And I want to try and repent as much as I can before my time comes, before the end times come. I don't know what's going to happen. But yeah, that's where I'm at right now. But Jeremy, you need to repent. You need to apologize. Not that it's really going to make any massive difference now, but you need to. And good luck to you in that because it's not going anywhere. Keno Casino is not going to let it go anywhere. Yeah. Let's hear your cat's stories or your cat story. Maybe one day I'll tell cat story. They don't really have a story. I got them, what, 7 years ago? 7 or 8 years old. I got their birth certificates somewhere. Yeah. Named him Eric and Charles after Eric Lencher and Charles Xavier. Was going to name one Remy and one LeBeau, but I thought that was a bit much because Gambit's my favorite character. I was going to get a male and a female and name one Gambit and one Rogue. And when I went to the breeder, originally we were going to get a male and I was going to get a male and a female. I ended up getting 2 males because she was having trouble getting rid of Charles, basically. And I'm like, yeah, all right, I'll take him. So I ended up getting 2 boys, so I had to change the names up. But that's the cat story. And now they're just, one complains when he wants food, the other one complains when he wants pets. That's the cat story. There you go. All right, guys, we're pretty much done. Is there anyone streaming out there right now? Thank you, everyone, for hanging out. Thanks to the lurkers. I appreciate you. Please hit the subscribe button. Smash that like button as well. Let's see. Is there anyone streaming right now? I know Phil last week was streaming. Is he streaming again this week? Should we raid Nick Recator? Doesn't look like. Let me go to live. Oh, no. We're going to raid Phil again. Oh, actually. All right. Let me ask you guys in the chat. Who do you want to go and raid? Do you want to go and hang out with Philip Chan? Do you want to hang out with Hypnotic, who's playing a game right now? Or do you want to go to Smash JT, who's talking about the quartering? They are the people that I can see that are live right now that I know. So 1 in the chat for Phil, 2 in the chat for Hypnotic, and 3 in the chat for Smash JT. 1 for Phil, 2 for Hypnotic, 3 for Smash. 1 for Phil, 2 for Hypnotic, 3 for Smash. Oh, dude. There's a few 2s there. That's Hypnotic. But there's Beta Bucks Deluxe wants 3. We've got a few 3s there now too. Beta Bucks Deluxe, 1 vote, buddy. Look at this. 3. Oh, no, hang on. 3. Oh, there's no other one. 4. We'll send you over to Smash. Let me get his link here. Share. Oh, look, listen. They hear that? You heard that. You heard that. We need to set up the raid. Give me a second. Yes! Food's coming. Food is coming. So thanks again, everyone, for hanging out. You can catch me this. You can catch me this week, this weekend, obviously. I can't raid Smash JT because he hasn't set it up. Smash JT, add you to their live. Okay, redirect. I can't. Okay, sorry, Smash. I tried, but we're going to now raid Hypnotic. We're going to now raid Hypnotic. Because it looked like that was the second closest in sort of the votes that we had. Sorry, Smash. That's better. All right, go and hang out with Hypnotic. Give him the Rhino raid. Thanks again, everyone, for hanging out. It's been an awesome stream. We will see you next week for another breakdown of the next 2 episodes of Maul. We are really starting to ramp up coming up to Mortal Kombat 2. And of course, they're probably going to start ramping up the advertising for Mandalorian and Grogu. So we will keep an eye on all of that. We will obviously be keeping an eye on Jeremy, the quartering. I have no doubt that we'll be talking about it on Flashcast this weekend. And who knows where that's going to go moving forward. Thanks again to everyone for hanging out. Thanks to everyone who super chatted it and all the members. You guys are the best. Thank you for all the support. Mods, thank you. And if you are new, smash the like button. Hit the subscribe button. Not that we're doing a lot of videos or anything, but we get to hang out on live streams. And we also, you can also watch some of my, you could say, back catalog. That sounds so pathetic. It's so ridiculous. But yeah, thanks everyone for hanging out. We will see you next week for Casual Rage 251. I can't believe we did 250 already. Fucking crazy. I said that I'd play the Acolyte one for people that hadn't seen it out there. So I'll give you the Acolyte one. We'll do a little bit of a different outro. Bye, everyone. Peace. Have a good weekend. How was it? Good? How was your weekend? Fucking stupid. Bye, everyone.
You'd better put a chick in it. Fucking gay as fuck.
What?
That is so lame.
They came bounding over.
Fuck off! Disney! You fucking cunt! A few minutes? Are you kidding? At the rate they're gaining?
No, what is it? You have to shoot this. Traveling through hyperspace is like Dustin Crop's kid. Without precise calculations, we fly too close to a store, or bounce into a supermarket, and then
yeah,
be a hell of a mess.
What's that?
Watch. You're losing the deflector shields. Go strap yourselves in. Be careful on the way out.
Yeah, sure. I'm taking very caution.
You go away.
We bounced too near a supermarket?